I'm my brothers. Dear Lord, let's go through the vows of life.
Dear Lord, we go through the vows of life.
We ask for a chance that is fair.
We ask for a chance that is fair.
Chance we equal all is right.
Chance to equal all is right.
Chance to do it there.
A chance to do it there.
If we should win.
If we should win.
It'll be by the code.
It'll be by the code.
Faith and honor held high.
With our faith and honor held high.
If we should lose.
If we should lose.
Stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
Cheers, the winners go by.
And cheers, the winners go by.
A team that won't be beat.
A team that won't be beat.
Can't be beat.
Can't be beat.
Can't hit.
Can't catch. Can't coach.
Can't win.
Can't win.
Amen.
Amen.
MP on 3. 1, 2, 3.
MP on 3.
Class A.
Ladies!
Here we go.
I got a lot of work up on my plate, and I'ma get it all till the clock stops ticking. Forget the pain of yesterday, and sugar slow, you know how you are. Wake up and go get it, live life with no limits. Every time they put me in a box, I bust it down. Too much time before the clock, so I'ma bust it down. Ain't no waiting for the moment, cause the time is now. I'm with my brothers like Malcolm and Newton, and we split the racks in the middle. Big bro, you been ballin', so we was just tallest, you know it ain't no ceilings. These girls in the library, they looking for love, you know it ain't no feelings. Searching for warmth in my heart, but lately it feel like the middle of winter. Every time I get back up, it wanna let me down. My granny asked me why I put that smoke up in the clouds. They always ran, woke, but they be sleeping, know what's round. Just maintain focus, keep my knees upon the ground. I put my soul and my heart in this. The clouds that left us in darkness, yeah. But I knew what it was when I started it, yeah. So now there ain't no turning back. You know I ain't got time to lack. I gotta get to the racks. And I cannot deny.
All right, here we go. We back. The Wolf of Ball Street podcast. And in this episode, we're gonna be exploring Wolf's journey through the softball world, at least a piece of it. We'll be here for weeks talking about all of it, but I want to thank all y'all for being here today. This is something that this podcast is something that's been important to us since we sat down, talked about it, and conceived it. So thank y'all for coming today to talk about how y'all lives have intersected with Wolf's life. And I'm gonna ask all y'all to introduce yourself. And so because loyalty is a code and we all gentlemen, ladies are first. I like that shirt.
Thank you. My name is Pamela Jones. From Tyler, Texas, that now live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. All right. And I'm assuming you play softball with Wolf.
Okay, yes. So I do play softball. And I did play softball. I'm a retired softball player.
Okay.
Volleyball, basketball, picked up softball in my late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
Yeah, and while everybody else was doing their thing, I was trying to catch up.
I want to say one of my guys is from, because Tyler breeds a lot of athletes.
Earl Campbell.
I know Earl from there for sure. He makes the best hot links in the world. Anytime I'm in Texas, I'm getting them out the store and bringing them back wherever I'm headed.
Aaron Ross.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We have Bizer that played for the Ravens.
And he's from Marshall, Texas. Okay, he's from Marshall.
East Texas. No, we good down here. Patrick Mahomes was born in Tyler, Texas. Went to high school in White House, Texas. And White House is as big as my fist. So he claims Tyler. We know where he went to high school.
That's who we was talking about Thursday. That's who we was talking about, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, nice to meet you, Pam. Who want to go next?
I'll go next. My name is Gary Welch. I'm from Tampa, Florida. Been playing softball with Wolf 15 plus years. We have won a championships, and I want to say about 20 rings together. I know as a competitive ball player, what I most about is out being when we're hitting, and he wanna out hit me. So that's what the competitiveness he had and the win spirit he had in his heart, and he was a student of the game. So I like that by Wolf. That's how we was able to win a lot of tournaments together. So appreciate you, Wolf.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, and Carlton, if you would.
All right, my name is Carlton. I am coming by way of Gainesville, Georgia. Born and raised in Columbus, Georgia. We play a lot of tournaments there. And I'm going to go way back a little bit where we was in a little town called Huntsville, Alabama. And I'm sitting back in the driver's seat. Done pretty much ran rule every team in the tournament up there. Then we played Wolf them in the setback. He's got to beat me twice. And yeah, he pulled it off. He beat me twice. So I made myself a promise before I left Huntsville. I'll never face him again in a different battle box than in my battle box.
Okay.
And the story kind of went from there. We finally convinced him to come down one weekend to play with us at a park called Metro. I don't even know how he found Metro, but he found that park. And one thing I can say, if he tell you he's going to do something, he can do it. He's always going to be my right-hand man. Love him like a brother.
That's what's up. That's what's
Appreciate
up.
it.
Well, D, I know I talked a little bit about me and my fabulous hometown. I ran in, well, I first saw Wolf in 2005 in the Nelly tournament.
Okay.
And I was always wondering why were they leaving Atlanta, Georgia to go travel to play softball. So that's how green I was about softball. Like, it's 20 million parks in Atlanta. Why are we traveling to St. Louis to play some softball? Why are we going to Orlando to play softball? That's how green I was. I'm looking like, so I finally caught up with the fad. And
Yeah.
I watched this man on the pitcher mound and I was like, well, I pitch. I don't do none of that type stuff. So maybe I need to start watching him. And that's when I think I got a little better because he and I finally sat down when it may be like 5 years later.
Yeah.
And I sat down with him and I asked him, how do you do the things you do? And he gave me a little regiment of what to do and how many times I'm pitching this ball in a bucket and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Behind a fence and all this kind of stuff. So that's how I became, how we connected because of our positions. And it's been nonstop. Have I cussed his ass out? Yes, I have. But I'm the big sister.
Okay.
So, and that's what that's how we're gonna remain forever.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So as I go down this rabbit hole, that's softball, because as I said before we came on camera, my brother-in-law plays, my wife's brother. He plays competitive softball. He travel. I'm talking about, he's a principal. And I'm like, this dude got the best job in the world because he ain't never at work on Friday during softball season. I'm like, I don't even know how you get this schedule because on Thursdays he out. And and it don't matter what's going on, he gone. He gonna be wherever the tournament is. He catching flights, he on them hotels, but I'm talking about them summer months. He don't work on Friday, and I'm seeing that type of drive is pretty consistent, right? So anybody can answer this question. Like, what is it about the sport that makes it so I'm gonna get in this car, I'm gonna hop on this flight, whatever it is, I'm gonna get where I need to be so I can pick that bat up and do what I got to do. What is it about the sport that draws y'all like that?
I can answer that. I tell you, the most important thing is the love of the game. You got to love the game, to even want to do it. To play in the rain, to play in the cold, to play 2 o'clock in the morning, and you got to get prepared to play a game. So you got to love the game first. Second is just the competition, to be competitive on the field, knowing that I'm the team to beat, and you show up every day to beat that next team that want to beat you so bad. So it's the competition, the being competitive in the fellowship with your brothers on the field. That's the
Yeah.
difference, and the love of the game.
Yeah. What I love about it is the competition, as well as the loyalty towards your teammates, and you get great networking with people that you don't really see that much in softball. You get to travel across the country and see everybody that you probably admire from a stand part about, and what does he do or how does he approach the game. So it's definitely a mental thing with me and muscle memory, but most of all, it's about the competition. I'm from the Lou. I represent the Lou, but when I was living in Florida, I was still representing the Lou, but Florida made me a better ball player as well as a better person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's what's up. That's what's
Well,
up.
well, I will tell you the take with me with softball. Again, I didn't play high school. I didn't play in college. I just picked it up as a recreational sport when I met this lady in Atlanta. She was at Southside Park on Alpha Jonesboro Road in Atlanta. And I was at at the McDonald's, and I was like, she had her cleats on in the Walmart. I was like, what do you play? And she said, softball. She said, it's a tournament down the street. So I did. I drove down behind her and just was watching. I'm looking like, okay, I think I can play the game. I started out in left center.
what?
But yes, I did. I was never because I was athletic still in look late 30s because I
Yeah,
was still playing volleyball and basketball. So I just let me pick up another sport, recreational wise, and how I ended up on the mound. Somebody got hurt on the team I was playing on. They said we can't continue until somebody get on the mound. I said, well, shoot, I'll go up here and throw this thing up here. And ever since then, I've been asked to pitch. I was being asked to pitch for teams. I'm looking like they don't know this is not nothing for me. I'm just up here. And then this was church league, rec league, and then people was asking, "Can you come and travel to Tallahassee for the 1-9 tournament?" I'm like, "What the? Why I gotta go to Tallahassee to play softball?" So I
Yeah.
did. I went, and then when I got there, I'm looking like I've never seen this many black people in my life. Not at one park. Coming from Tyler, I'm seeing white and black, but
Yeah.
I just and I went to HBCU, mind you, and it was a small HBCU, and so there were blacks, but I'm talking about having fun,
Yeah.
like a family reunion, as they call it now. I was in awe, and I have not, and that was back in '05, and I'm still there, but I'm not on the level where everybody is just so gung ho and they have to go to tournaments. I started having to go to tournaments because of the people, not because of the sport. Was I on teams? Yes,
Yeah.
I was. And they probably was like, damn, do she really want to play softball or does she want to be around the people? I met so many fabulous people in my life, and three of them are on here. Gary, Carlton, and Wolf. And I'm telling you, they've always treated me with the utmost respect. My little country self finally I jailed now, and I became the BSC first lady because people love me for who I am. And the
Yeah.
same way they love me for who I am is the same reason why the other half don't like me. Because
exactly.
the people navigate to me, and then there's some that go away because of who I am, and that's why the three that's on here, they are the same exact way. And so people find each other, and God put you together with people that you know who you supposed to be with. And these three on here, I'm supposed to be with them.
You know what? You just really touched on something that has become important to me down this process, because when we get into like the documentary is the documentary, right? That's gonna be Wolf's life, right? And then when we get to the movie aspect of it, because there's a plan, like podcast, documentary, movie, TV series, Netflix series, whatever, Amazon, somewhere like that. But when we get to the movie portion of this, really kind of in the documentary too, I want to really make sure I capture the culture aspect of it, right? Because I think that's important, because like a lot of cultural stuff in the Black community gets torn down, right? And I know, just because we I think we spent a summer a couple years ago just hanging out with my brother-in-law on the circuit, right? So we went to Cincinnati, and we went to We went a lot of places. We just was like hopping in the car and we was, rolling. Like every weekend we just went somewhere. It was like the summer, right? But when you get to these tournaments, I saw like the brotherhood, sisterhood, community type thing, right? And then, I saw I'm sorry, y'all, hold on one second. I saw how I gotta do something funky. I saw how things always try to get torn down, when other people are involved, right? Like they look like they're having too much fun. I want to capture that. What was it like being black people playing before the was it the BCS or BSC? What is it? The BS
BAS
BS
and then
before the
BSC.
BSA really got what was that like out there as black teams competing on a predominantly white circuit?
Gary and Carlton can answer that because I wasn't around.
Well, for me, I'm going to tell you, the white circuit made the black teams better. Some of the stuff you do on the black circuit, you can win with it. But when you go over there and play on that open circuit, the white circuit, those guys are going to teach you how to play the game. Or guess what? You're going to get your ears bent back every weekend. You got to play the game the right way. And to me, the way I made my teams really better is we kept going over there on that side, testing the water. We won a lot of tournaments over there. We took a lot of butt whooping. We gave a lot of butt whooping. But that open circuit teaches you how to play the game. If you're serious about the game,
Yeah.
that'll teach you how to play the game over there.
And so when the BCA came,
No, it's called BSC.
BSC.
What about we'll go back to BASA first.
Yeah, the original started back in 1994. BASA out of St. Louis. They started the black circuit. Then BSC came after that because Clay back then, who runs the BSC, I think was he a cameraman back then for BSA?
He took pictures. I think he also Gary, did he play on a few teams first?
He started out.
Well. He played in
You cutting out, Gary?
He started out playing with a few teams, and then eventually he was a big part of the BASA staff, and he made all the T-shirts at the World Tournament and the big tournaments. And basically, that's why I have so much respect for Clay, because a lot of things that I do in this day and time in my life, I feel like I learned from three of the best to ever do it.
Right.
Arthur Drake, Herkel Ivory, and then came Clay Dickey. I was watching Clay when Clay didn't know I was watching Clay. I run a very successful business on my own now, and I got that vision from Clay Dickey.
Can you talk if that's something that you can talk about, Carlton, like what you're doing now? Because I think that's important too, like where people come from. Because there's a lot of diversity. Like since we started this podcast, there have been a lot of lawyers that have reached out through the contact information that's given us really great and useful free legal advice on dealing with the situation when these people tried to ruin Wolf's life, and even going all the way back into the 80s on how to just deal with certain circumstances. And I told Wolf this on multiple occasions, like, man, this the podcast, the numbers are gonna come with consistency, but we're gonna reach the right people to bring people in your life that God has ordained to come in and play a role. And we've gotten some really good behind the scenes information on how to just deal with a lot of stuff because of the diversity of the type of people that play softball. So Carlton, if it's something you can speak about, what do you do like outside of softball? What's your business?
Well,
if I can
right
ask.
now, my main business and my main source of income is I run a company called Quality Officials. And what it is umpires.
Okay.
And when I started this thing probably 6-7 years ago, it was me and about 7 of my best friends. And I knew it wasn't going to be an easy task because, I was, so to speak, at the bottom of the totem pole. I had to come out and take me and my 6-7 guys and kind of prove myself
Yeah.
because everybody else was already doing what I was trying to do. And as a black man in the industry that I'm in, it's not a lot of us out there. So, word of mouth don't always get it done in what I'm doing now. I've been all over the place. They'll call me and say, Carlton, it started off with, can you cover 3 fields for me? 3 fields and 6 umpires. Oh yes, I can do that. I can do that real easy. And at the time, I was probably always one of those 6 umpires.
Yeah.
So to make a long story short, I started with 6-7 guys. Now I currently have about 75 people working for me.
Wow. That's great. That's a blessing.
And as a black man, I say, if you go to a youth softball fast pitch tournament, a baseball tournament, and you call the name of Carlton Smith, I'm well known out there. Oh, that guy, he runs quality officials. He's got some of the best officials you ever gonna get. So now I don't have to call around and say, hey man, you need some fields covered this weekend. I'm in a situation now where I'm having to tell people, man, I'm sorry, but I can't help you this weekend. I'm already got 30 fields. 30 fields is 60 people. And and that on a slow weekend I got 25 fields. On a good weekend I got 40 fields.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate you sharing that. Definitely. Definitely. Got a question so talk to me about Class Act. Because it's in your background right there. Wolf, what's Class Act? Talk to me about Class Act.
Class act. It's a name that I thought of back in the late '80s. To be honest with you, I came up with the name when I was in prison, playing softball in prison, and it's just something about the name itself just stood out. Um, then when I got out and started playing in '94 with the name Class Act, I picked up guys that I feel like was Class Act type of guys, good, great on the field, but even special off the field, and I handpicked who I wanted, and the name just carried by winning all the time, consistency, and I feel like the name should be in the Hall of Fame in St. Louis. So that's another thing we're debating about next week. But overall, it's the name that I thought about that I just feel like it's got to be a name that everybody will always remember for the good.
So is it true that Class Act was called the greatest show on dirt?
We was
Yes.
one of the greatest show on dirt. I feel like another team called they was out of Atlanta. They claimed the same thing. So, but we were very entertaining. Um, we do the matrix. We have all the whole infield. They switch different positions, or we play with a 2-man outfield, or Carlton to do some stuff and tell us, we'll reverse what we just did. It was just entertaining, but we'll whoop your ass too at the same time. So, but it was we were like a rock star. Our team was, when I had 9 left-handed batters on the team in the lineup. That's unheard of,
Yeah,
and it just blew up from that. So I'm definitely proud of the name Class Act.
that's what's up. Hey Gary,
Yeah,
can I ask you a
you
question?
ain't said you ain't said enough about it though. You ain't said enough about it. We were bad, man. Bad.
I will go ahead because I was going to come to you anyway. So go right ahead.
So
Keep talking.
so let me go ahead on and put a little more sauce on there because we was a team with swag. We believe in when we came in. We came in the park together. We dressed alike from head to toe. And when we come in there, we in 2 lines, and we'll walk through the fields, and everybody looking. There they go. That was, and then you know where we played, because before we played, everybody would line up their seats to make that field up. I mean, you got to get close, because if you don't, you're gonna miss it. So everybody want to get close to see what we do. Our first battle, the first battle we played when we got on defense, the entire infield would come to the pitcher mound. We didn't play no position until Wolf pitched the first pitch and allowed them to get a hit to start the game off. We ain't playing third, we ain't playing shortstop, we ain't playing second, we ain't playing first. The whole infield is at the mound. And Wolf pitch, and y'all get a hit, because we gonna give you a head start. That's the swag we had as Class A. That was the swag. And we did the Matrix. And Wolf ain't tell you about the Matrix, but Wolf will pitch. You remember the movie The Matrix?
Absolutely.
So Wolf will pitch, and he'll be faking real fast, and then he'll just go real slow and go into a matrix. And all of us in the infield move somewhere, and our field will move somewhere. And we come up there, and I did that white song. I played middle infield, so I'll come up right behind Wolf and do like that Karate Kid move. But we had entertainment. Along with our entertainment, we knew we was good. And we knew we gonna beat you. 55 runs in one end that we had in I never forget it. We scored 55 runs in one end.
Was that in Aiken?
In Aikens. Yeah, in Aiken.
Yeah.
55 runs in one end.
I didn't think you could score 25 runs in a game.
No, we said 55.
I ain't say 25. I said 55 in one end. 5-5.
Y'all was out there like Bingo Long and the All-Stars.
Oh, we didn't play around with it, man. We didn't play around. That's why I said he didn't give you the justice of what we really thought Class A was. We even had 5 coaches. We had a coach to do everything. The hitting coach, the defensive coach. Who came up with 5 coaches? We had
a mental coach. We
even had cheerleaders, man. I'm telling you, we had everything with Class A. And the best thing about Class A, even that we were good, we had manufacturers that stood behind us, like Easton. Easton was a big sponsor that stood behind us. And we was like, if we needed anything, you just call Easton and they say, hey, wait, we got to send you to the player line. And you call and say, send me a bat overnight. It's going to be there. Yeah. So we had a lot of support. And that's what was so good about Class A. And we had a great team. We had a great team. We had teams to even just say, hey, we gonna throw the white flag again, because we know we ain't gonna beat these guys. They killing us.
Hey, you know
we
what?
Ain't gonna beat them.
Talk to me about that. You just mentioned something, because me and Wolf was having some pre-podcast conversation. Talk to me about the team that quit.
Stars, St. Louis Stars, or the Browns, whatever they were. They
came in.
Stars, Gucci was on that team.
Gucci was on the team.
Gucci was on that team.
Oh Lord, y'all done gave
they
me
quit on it. We come in there. We'll say we gonna come play in the hometown and let them know what Class A about. And boy, look at here. We came in there, we dominated. Yeah, and they just threw in the towel. We ain't gonna beat them out.
He threw the towel. He actually threw the towel in the middle of the game.
Threw the towel.
Who was coaching that team, if I could ask?
Volley.
I didn't knew you was finna say Volley.
Yeah.
I knew you.
Good time.
Yeah.
Oh man, y'all did. I'm gonna have to fry some fish just so I can have this conversation now with the two of them in the same room.
Yeah, that was real.
Hey,
Class A was definitely a team to always remember that name, and I took that name and took it to represent the women's, because Pam asked me to help her, and I was kind of like getting slowing down from playing, and I said, well, let me do something else that's gonna motivate me to stay in the game. And me and Pam put something together. It was very special. Our first year together, we won a world championship with Class A ladies.
That's what's up. Gary, can I ask you one more question?
Go ahead.
Let me ask you something about Birmingham, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I heard there was a bet in Birmingham.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You want to talk about it?
I'm gonna leave that one alone. We want money.
Y'all
We
pardon
want
me.
money in Birmingham. We want money in Birmingham. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, well, my whole thing was I was gonna beat Wolf, right?
You did, but you did.
I was gonna beat Wolf now, but I'm gonna tell you now. I played on some great teams, but this how bad. And I was like the captain of this other team, right? And we had a situation where this team, because I left that team and when they played with Class A, oh, they had it out for me, right? They say, Gary, you don't leave us and go play with them now. But I did. So they whole thing when they came to Birmingham to beat Gary. Wherever we see Gary, we gonna beat that team. I'm playing with a different team now, right? We're not with Class A. I'm with Detroit Mavericks. So right now, they beating us because we tried to get back to the championship. They beating us. I told the coach, look at him, you done beat me, but I want you to give up on the last ending and tell them that give us the game. Give us the game. You done beat me. You beat me. I ain't nothing I can say. You beat me, right? But give me the game because I want to play Wolf now. I want to beat them. Yeah, they cheated though. They did what they normally would do. They cheated on us and they won the game. But I will always go down and say this here. If I had to bet again, I'd put my money on my team over their team. They just had a good coach. They had a good coach. But yeah, we had great times like that. That's something I never forget. In your documentary, though, it's something that I definitely will want you to have in there. It's called our team prayer. If Lo was here, I would make sure that we actually had this prayer before and we brought it to Class I, right? But now it seems like everywhere Wolf go, he teach this prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me, it meant a lot. It meant a lot to me that was a token that I can always say Wolf took from us and never stopped using it, right? And I'm gonna say it right now, but make sure it's in your documentary how we started out. I don't care how you started, but we say, dear Lord, we go through the vows of life.
Dear Lord, go through the vows of life. I'm gonna repeat. Come on.
Okay, we ask for a chance that is fair.
We ask for a chance that is fair.
A chance to equals all is right.
A chance to equals all is right.
A chance to do a dare.
A chance to do a dare.
If we should win.
If we should win.
It'll be by the code.
It'll be by the code.
With our faith and honor held high.
With our faith and honor held high.
If we should lose.
If we should lose.
We'll stand by the road.
We'll stand by the road.
And cheer as the winners go by.
And cheer as the winners go by.
A team that won't be beat.
A team that won't be beat.
Can't be beat.
Can't be beat.
Can't hit.
Can't hit.
Can't catch.
Can't catch.
Can't win.
Can't coach.
Can't coach.
Amen.
Amen.
I think I saw a video of that prayer. I got it, Wolf. I already know what you think. So I got it.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Wolf, I thank you about that because I took that to my latest team. And you know what they say? Oh, that's Class I. I say, what?
No. Let me tell you. Let's get on that.
Oh, no.
Cause we were the first 50. We were the first 50 women team doing it that Wolf taught us to. And then he tried to take it over. He tried to cross it over. And they said they didn't even want to say it because they said they knew that we were saying it.
But that's our prayer.
Well, I'm just saying, it ain't your team prayer. They don't want to copy off. They didn't want to copy off this team. They didn't want to copy off the lady class act.
I'm so glad. Right. I'm so glad that Wolf put that token out there, though. That's something, Wolf, I wanted to tell you. I don't know how much you did it, but everywhere I go and I feel something about Class act, that's going to be a prayer that's going to be said, and it means a lot in words.
It does.
And it's just something that, if it show character, it show everything about being in Class I. So I thank you for continuing to do it. But don't make sure you let them know where it come from.
I appreciate y'all giving it to me. It came from y'all. You alone.
Make sure. That's right. Make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what, and if it's okay, as we start to line this up, I want to be able to talk to all of y'all as like technical advisors for the things that we do, because y'all was there. You know what I'm saying? And I love to be able to to call y'all, off camera and really kind of dig into it as we start to put scripts and that kind of thing together. We having a meeting because we got a great, awesome filmmaker on there. So I'm a that's part of this project. I'm gonna let her handle that side. I'm gonna handle like the sound of it, the music, what the music sounded like then, what it sounds like now. Um, just kind of, because music is part of the culture, and I want to capture, um, I want to make sure I do softball right in everything that we do, right? So I want to be able to call y'all and just make sure we always got. I mean, I know we got the greatest technical advisor in the world up there in Wolf, but it'd be great to have different perspectives because he's spoken about. I feel like I know all y'all prior to us getting on here because he's spoken about you guys before, and I've definitely seen photos of everybody on here. Carlton, I don't know what you look like up there in that corner, but I'm sure I've seen a picture of you. Uh, but if I could turn and just turn this serious just real fast because I want to know and then I want the audience to know. We all know what happened in St. Anne last year, right? When the accusation came out, and we're addressing a lot of that right now. If you guys have had an opportunity to look at some of the other episodes, I'm sure you've kind of seen some of the crazy, right? But when this stuff first hit, right? What? How did it hit you? Did you believe what was said? How did it hit you? Like, if I can ask that of each one of y'all. Ladies first, Pam. I see your face.
Okay.
Well, just knowing him now as I do, when it was told, I was I was more on the man. I'm not listening to that shit. Type. I'm sorry, I curse. I'm
You can cuss. This
I
podcast.
was like, man, I ain't listening to that. And then it's like, so you still hearing it from the other side. So I'm like, but see, with me, I don't judge people by what other people say and do. I got a past. And my past was I used to beat up a bunch of folks and I done been to jail behind it. So you know what I'm saying? So with no matter what he did, I could call him and like, what the fuck going on? You know, he would tell me. And I'm taking from what it is. I'm taking it from the horse's mouth. So just because Joe Blow keeps saying it, oh no, you don't you're talking about you believe him because that's your brother, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I believe him because that's my brother. Until I see otherwise, that's what I gotta do. I gotta believe that.
Yeah.
I gotta believe what he said. Yes, it hit and it was just traveling. Yes, I was getting phone calls. Yes, I was getting text messages. Yes, I was getting screenshots and all kind of stuff. And I found myself in a position where I was defending him more than what people were saying about me. I defended Wolf to know, and you did. I'm over here getting you stupid. You believe everything he's saying, blah blah. I'm stupid, stupid, stupid. But I didn't care because I'm gonna defend him till I see otherwise, and I did. And people would call and tell him, "Well, Pam is saying that she believe everything you saying, and blah blah blah." And he would call me and tell me, "I appreciate you because you're not gonna drag nobody down that I care about and that I love." Without me having full, I gotta have the evidence. And to me it's almost like somebody saying my husband cheating on me, which I ain't got one, looking for one. And it's like he cheating on me, and if I don't see with my own eyes, I don't care about what you're talking about. And this was the same thing how I defended Wolf, like he was a husband or my brother. I'm gonna defend my brother
Yeah.
until I know otherwise. Gary and I and all the other guys, Lo, we all talked about it. Wolf, Nut, we all talked about it, and it hurt us to hear it, but I'm gonna defend that. I probably was the only female out of all the people that he dealt with, was the one that's sitting out like the sore thumb, and I did not care.
Yeah.
And there's people right to this day will say something to me, and I'm going like, that's a problem you have. I don't have a problem with holding up people that I love. Because you don't like him and you want to, defile his name and say the things you do, leave that over there with you because I'm not going to have a conversation with you about Curtis Wilson. I'm not. I don't have conversation about Curtis Wilson in the negative with nobody. And he knows that. And like I say, the time that me and him bumped heads and then talked a couple of months, I still wasn't out here dogging him out. We were sending texts to each other. I'm the only one was horrible. I was horrible to my brother. I was because I was hurt. I was hurt behind what people were saying. And then when the stuff came to me, me and him was at odds with each other. But on that side, behind his back, I defended him behind the wall. And I will continue to defend him behind the wall.
Yeah, and let it be. There is. Let me say it again. We said it in other podcasts. There is 1,000% definitive proof that they lied.
Yeah.
And they knew that they were lying.
Yes.
And it's in their own paperwork. We didn't have to create nothing. We just had, like I said, other people who were contributing and watching the podcast started digging into the paperwork, and they lied. And they lied, and they took it to the media knowing that they was lying. They already had the proof that it wasn't true. And it turns out that there's like some interpersonal stuff going on with people in law enforcement in St. Anne who know him from high school.
Yeah.
And it's dastardly. I'm gonna use that word.
Right.
Cause I told Wolf this 1,000 times, and Carlton, Gary, I'm listening to y'all. We all got sons that are exceptional athletes. Because I'm listening to y'all, what you said about your sons. All my sons played Division I sport. Love them, college educations and all of that behind sports, and few of them had a real professional opportunity. And I would talk to them endlessly about the trap. And the trap is you a black athlete, and whether the girl white, black, Mexican, whatever, all it takes is one wrong word and you fighting uphill, even if it's a lie.
Yeah.
Right. And so now the man got to reclaim his reputation off a lie. And then the original allegation was consensual sex in the mind. And I say this all the time, like in the state of Illinois, if you 17 years old or younger, there is no consent. I wasn't a virgin at 17 years old, so I'm guilty according to the law, right? In Missouri, it's 14. There's no consent, so it don't even matter. So when he was a 16, 17-year-old kid, a junior in high school with a freshman girlfriend, and it was consensual, well, if the parent find out, which they did, and they pushed the he didn't have no recourse, right?
Right.
We had a lawyer that played softball that saw the very first podcast, said, did they let him go in court and be charged as an adult when he wasn't an adult? Yes, they did. Here's a motion to have the original conviction thrown out because he shouldn't have been tried in adult court. Then somebody else sent the motion over saying that was ineffective counsel because his lawyer was supposed to have him certified as an adult if he was underage before the court proceedings could even go. So on them two bases alone, he can get that thrown out, right? So that's the fight right now, right? And he in court on some other stuff. But this thing in 2014, there's 100,000% proof in
2024.
24.
What I'll say?
14.
2014.
2024, my fault. In their own, I get excited about it because I don't like when they be lying and destroying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they lied, and they know they lied. And everybody lied. Everybody in the chain of command lied. They lied. And and they paperwork proves they lying. And right now, they trying to lose reports and all kind of stuff, trying to hide stuff. It's crazy. Like you looking at it like, y'all really playing in our face like this? Like
Well,
you didn't put.
Well, let me tell you this, D. Like I tell people that want to bring it up and say stuff about it. I said, well, I was 15 when he's 19 or senior. He was a dummy, I guess, because he was 19 still in high school. was you know what I'm saying? I'm 15, he 19. If my parents was those type of parents, that I could have ruined the guy's life.
Could have.
Another thing with my daughter, she was 13, told her children's father, her ex-husband, that she was 16. He was 17 when she was 13. I'm not knowing anything because she coming back down here in the summertime. In the summertime with her dad.
Yeah.
If I would have known that, I could have ruined that guy's life.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with Curtis, with
Yeah.
Wolf. Because I tell him all the time, who is your daughter dating right now? Or I ask them, it's a lot of us that's on this softball circuit could have had the same fate.
Yeah.
Could end up with the same exact thing because somebody was 17, 18 dealing with a 15-year-old. On that circuit, it's more than 90% of the people out there dated somebody that was underage.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was a freshman in high school, I got invited to prom by a senior.
Yeah.
So and all that come with it. So was she guilty of, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's, you know, it's crazy, but you know, you know, a lot of times I think that when people just automatically run with something that somebody else said, they want to hate on you anyway. You know what I'm saying? They want to hate on you anyway. I can't even tell you how much hate I've had in my life for the things that I've done, good in my life that people just want to hate on. You know what I'm saying? So, and that unfortunately that's the curse of our culture, is that we root for the downfall. But you know, it's all good.
Gary. And me telling, look, before Gary started, but me telling Wolf that, you know, it's because at one time, yes, he was like wanting to prove to these Negroes on this circuit, I didn't do it type stuff. I said, no matter what you do, you can put it on a billboard and they can put the law, said that he's not guilty. He's not guilty. And guess what? The ones that already fixated in their minds that yes, he did do it. They're gonna forever believe that. So no matter what he does, they gonna forever roll with that.
Yeah, you ain't got enough proof.
Right.
To fix. The chief of police of St. Anne could go on and say we was wrong, our paperwork. You know, he release a statement, skywrite it the whole nine. Whoever want to believe it, they still gonna believe it. That's why I'm be trying to. My wife say something to me all the time. She say the truth don't need to defend itself.
Exactly.
And so I don't even waste my time. That's like one of the realest things she ever said to me. I don't even waste my time trying to defend something that I know, you know, ain't true. I just let people talk. All right, go ahead. You ain't paying my bills. You ain't doing it. Right. So you keep on hating. I'm be over here smiling somewhere, doing what's right. So, Gary, how did it hit you, man, when you heard it?
Oh, when it hit me, I can be truly honest to you about it. And I'm going to say this. We're going to speak on culture a little bit because our people, black people, had every reason to say that Wolf were guilty. That's just what they know of Wolf. Because the way we talk about one another is really bad.
It is.
But if you don't know, you had to know Wolf. You got to know Wolf personally. I think this circle that Wolf is telling you who you need to talk to, these are the ones that really know Wolf. Now, not for one, and anybody that tell you, when they brought it to me, I said, Wolf ain't do that. Wolf ain't do it because I know Wolf, right? I'm saying to myself, I've been around this man so many times. He could have did this several times. That was never an interest in him, right? So when I say he ain't do it, I don't care what y'all say, he ain't do this. I got to hear the story a little different. From what I'm hearing, he ain't do that. I know he did. That ain't him. But then when Wolf called me, I say, Wolf, I know you trying to say, Gary, you know I ain't do that, man. He gave me the story. I said, Wolf, I know you ain't do it. I try to tell everybody you ain't do it, but it's a shame I got to go and tell everybody you ain't do it. But my point of it is when they bring it to me, I ain't going out there and just blah, blah, blah. Bring it to me. And I'm going to say, I guarantee you didn't do it. But I told Wolf, and I'm so glad Wolf believe in speaking to certain people about his situation. Because I say, Wolf, I'm going to tell you, he say, Gary, why me? Why this person ain't getting nothing and but me? I say, why not you? All right. Why not you?
Yeah.
There's no refund in life. Whatever we do, We got to go through it, man. And if we can change things that we did yesterday and say, I want to trade that in, I want to get a refund for that, it'll be great, but there's no refund in life. So what you going through, Wolf, you had to go through it.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you to just go through it, because at the end of the day, there's no amount of money they can give you. The biggest fight is for you to walk out of here and say, now uplift this here conjunction y'all have on me for all of these years that I ain't never did anything else. If you uplift that off me, then I'm free. Free yourself. But watch this here. And I'm going to tell Wolf this. As it comes out now, to all the ones that didn't believe you, when this here story come and they go to picking up, now they know he ain't guilty. Them same voices that was trying to convict him gonna be like, man, I know you ain't do it. I know you ain't
all day long. All day long.
Yeah. But Wolf got to understand, I know who was there. I know who was there for me, right? And I know who questioned, who seesawed with me. Probably say, oh, he did it, because that's the Black culture. That's how we are, and it's a shame that I can say it, but we're quick to judge you for your wrongdoing. All these years, everybody that said he ain't nothing but a pedophile, he ain't this, you ain't never see Wolf do anything. You going on something past that happened a long time ago when he was a teenager. But all these years you've been around Wolf, you ain't never heard nothing like that there. Like he did anything with a child. So my whole point was, I believed him. I knew it wasn't true, and I believe when he told me, Gary, it ain't true. I said, I know it ain't true. I just want you to just go through it and watch how we reap the benefit. This is your life. This is what you had to go through, and it's bigger than you. This gonna be for somebody else as well. Yeah. So go through it. Hold your head up, go through it, and watch what happened in the end. I see it.
Yeah, I talk to, we had these conversations all the time. Like, man, God can carry me through a whole lot, right? I'm talking about a whole lot. And I know he'd give us a cross to carry that only we can carry, right?
Yeah.
And so because when we get it up that mountain, right, and we put it in the ground, right, and we overcome whatever that cross was, right?
Yeah.
It's for everybody else to
right.
see that he, that you got the glory. Them people, man, them people got camera systems so sophisticated. They said he followed this little girl for 5 days, right? They couldn't find him on that camera for 5 days. They couldn't find him on that camera. And so they knew when they went into their own camera system that he never came into where that little girl said she was at. And she did what she was supposed to do. She thought she was being travel, whatever. We can't blame the mama. We can't blame the daughter. They did what they were supposed to do. But the police knew it was wrong. So,
but why not arrest him then? You gonna wait later to go get it? That's crazy to me.
Correct. And he came to you.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't even arrest him. He came to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's lost. Carlton, how did it hit you, man, when you heard?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I've got people that I deal with on a regular that I knew 20 years before I even met Wolf. I mean, 20 years, probably more. Some of those people was bringing that stuff to me. And to this day and time, ever since that allegation came out, I hadn't had a word, and I've seen these individuals on several occasions. Every time I come to a softball tournament, I see these individuals. And I tell them the same thing. I ain't finna have that conversation with you because, one, I know he didn't do it. And two, I know y'all brains. I know how y'all work. Y'all stand in the corner and wait till something is said about XYZ, and then you want to crucify him. Not knowing nothing, ain't got no evidence or nothing. But I've said it 1,000,001 times, and I receive phone calls from peoples in St. Louis, peoples in Florida, peoples in Georgia, people's in Detroit, Michigan, and I told them all the same thing. Not the wolf I know. Now, if you know another wolf or another Curtis Wilson they may be talking about, then fine. But not the Curtis Wilson I know. And to be honest, the relationship that I have with Wolf, Pam, and Gary, you can't call my phone or see me anywhere and say, Wolf did this, or Pam did this, or Gary did this. I'll laugh in your face because one, I know Gary Welch. One, I know Pamela Jones. Two, I know Curtis Wilson. So I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm just not trying to hear that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a doubt in my mind.
I appreciate y'all sharing that real quick. And as we come to the end, I want to ask each one of y'all just real quick, if y'all would share a wolf story or an opinion or, just how, what knowing him and his journey is to each one of you guys, in your life personally, however you want to say it, just a parting thought.
Okay. Well, I know ladies first. Ladies first.
First.
Well, and just a little bit piggyback off of Gary and Carton. We know each other. If somebody said Pam cuss somebody out, I cuss somebody out. If they said Pam want to rob the bank, they know I ain't robbed no bank. But other people gonna say, well, she cuss people out. I know she robbed the bank, So that just but on to my personal with Curtis Wilson. I will say softball brought us together. No, we're not blood kin, but our friendship and our kinship is between the love of he and I. It grew to that, and the bond is still close as ever. It was one time I was going through my divorce, and he was the person I always confided in about my divorce. He ain't be like, well, can you work it out type stuff. It's like, shoot, you the girl, you the woman. He losing something big. You keep moving. He motivated me to keep moving instead of staying where I was.
Yeah.
And then it was in a place where my son was at work and he helped me do a little stuff. When I left the house that I was in, my ex thought I was probably gonna go and fall off and falter. But in all, I ended up building a home, and I had nobody to help me get my refrigerator. I had nobody to help me get my furniture in, nobody. And that's why I kept saying, there's nobody. And just out of nowhere, he called me. He said, sis, what you doing? I said, trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure it out. He said, what you trying to figure out? I said, it's just me. My son is at work, and this is the time I can do it. He said, do what? And I told him, I need to move into my new home. He said, where you want me to meet you at? And when he did that, I knew that he was somebody that's gonna always, he dropped everything he was doing. I forgot what he was doing, but he dropped it and drove from Gwinnett County to come to DeKalb County. And the rest is history. We went and got a U-Haul truck. We took pictures in the U-Haul truck. But prior to that, I got real sick. I got real sick. I did have other friends, my family, my son, who came to my rescue. But I cannot ever forget him.
It's all right. Take your time.
Standing by my bedside. Because there was nobody else. Like I say, I'm from Texas, and I was in Georgia. And that's where he came. And he was by my bedside. And you know, he wouldn't leave. And I told him I'm okay. And he said, "No, sis, whatever it is that you need, I'm here for you." And that's why, and like I say, blood don't always make you kin. And he was right there, even though I was getting phone calls from other people, but him being right there to hold my hand meant the world to me.
That's what's up.
It meant the world to me. And then moving forward is when I'm just, because I don't call and ask nobody for anything.
Yeah.
And throughout my life, I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah.
People don't know. I told him, he knows. I've been
Yeah.
homeless. I've been homeless in the state of Georgia. And my daddy found out and asked me why. He said, all this stuff you have here in Texas, you want to go up 800 miles away to be homeless? Because I lost something behind a man.
Yeah.
But Curtis Wilson have always pulled me up and put me in positions that I never knew I could be in. No matter how people feel about him, they need to know that man. They need to know the man. They need to know the heart instead of the accusations. Because I'm one person that will tell you, he will give you everything and anything that he have, that if he loves you and cares about you. And that's what he did for me. My personal journey with Curtis Wolf Wilson will forever be embedded in my heart and in my soul. And I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, sis.
Gary?
Well, you know, I wasn't gonna go after Pam since she won't do all that crying.
You got me over here crying.
So I got so many moments with Wolf. I really do. I mean, precious moments. But I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I'm gonna take a bad for the good in this conversation. And Wolf, you might don't want me to say it, but I'm gonna say it.
You got to.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you. So me and Wolf came to a stumbling block, and it was over a girl. Not that we were seeing the same girl. It's a girl came that a friend of mine came and lied to Wolf on me. And I said, Wolf, I ain't say that. And Wolf said, yes, she did. I said, Wolf, I ain't say that. He said, yes, she did. So I was talking about, so I'm gonna show y'all how even Wolf accused me of something that I know I did. But that little thing had me and Wolf about to toe to each other. We was that mad at one another because I was mad that he didn't believe I'm telling you I ain't do it, but he was so strong and say, Gary, you did it. But through it all, it took that, as he realized I didn't do it, it took that to make us so much closer, right? So much closer till you come out and say, Dirty, you know what, man, I truly, you know, I apologize to you. I hope you forgive me. But I knew right there that day we became closer. So even the bad we had turned to the good. So that's one of my most precious moments with Wolf right now, because I know now he's a real brother, right? He ain't fake material no more. If I tell him Gary ain't do it, I think he gonna say Gary ain't do it, because that's how I feel about him. I either know you or I don't know you, and if I don't know you, if I'm wrong about something, it ain't because I didn't know you. I know you. I just couldn't believe it. But I think that's where Wolf at. Wolf, I mean, we're like brothers now. He gonna call and check on me. I'm gonna check on him. He gonna check on mama. He gonna check on my family. I'm gonna check on him. But that's how a bad situation turned into a good situation. So he know it, and it's real. It's real right now, and I know he think that he see me as someone he can count on now.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel on him. I feel about Wolf. So that bad situation turned into a good situation. So I'm proud of that.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up. All right, Carlton.
Well, I'm gonna touch on a situation. It's been years ago. We was at a softball tournament. We was out in Shreveport, Louisiana, playing in a softball tournament. And we was playing this team, and I knew that team was gonna get up and bring their best effort to beat us because they didn't like Wolf. So we was playing the game, and they began to hit Wolf pretty good. So I called time. I got 3 other coaches in my dugout telling me, man, I know you ain't finna do what I think you finna do. Man, you're not finna take Wolf out. He gonna show out. He gonna show out if you take him out the game. I said, let me tell you something. I looked them all 3 in the eye. I said, let me tell you something. Wolf is a player. I'm the coach. And I don't give a damn if Wolf don't speak to me ever again. I said, I won't take his bat out of the lineup because I can't afford to. I said, but I'm finna take his ass off the mound. And I'm walking toward him, and he's looking at me like, Carlton, what are you doing? Wolf, give me the ball. That's what I said, give me the ball. I said, go to first base. I said, man, ain't no first baseman. Wolf, go to first base. Give me the ball. And we went on and won that game. That game was over. He came right to me. He said, man, you don't know how much respect I got for you. I said, no, you don't know how much respect I got for you. I said, I know you play the game the right way, and I coach the game the right way. And you wouldn't have been playing the game the right way, and I wouldn't have been coaching the game the right way if I don't take you off that mound at that point in time. And we were already in the loser bracket when this happened. We was already in the loser bracket. I ain't got one thing back on my mind to get back to the team that beat us, because we gonna double dip them motherfuckers. That was the whole thing. I'm not leaving Shreveport till we double dip them. All right. We get back to the championship, play them the first game, we run rule them, beat them in 3 innings. I turn and look at Wolf, the damn bottom fell out. I mean, a monsoon come through Shreveport. The guy who was running the tournament says, I need both coaches in a room. Wolf said, Carlton, I'm going in there with you. I don't need you, Wolf. I got this. I got this. You think the same way I think, so I don't need you in there with me. So I go in there, and this guy tell me, he said, best I can do is give both teams 8 rings. Because he wanted the team that we had just run through to win the tournament. Anyway, he didn't want us to win the tournament. So I say to him, I say, all amount of money in the world can't make me accept them 8 rings. I said, I don't care if we got to drive 2 hours away. Find me a park where they'll let us play, and we're going to go finish this game. We're going to go finish what we started. We drove about 45 minutes away, played the game. We get to the park. I looked at Wolf. He looked at me. I said, finish what we started. And to make a long story short, when I left Shreveport, I knew that was my guy. I don't care what. I knew that was my guy. I knew it before then. But if you ever wanted to get solidation, I had it when I left Shreveport. I had it. He was my guy. Always have been, always will be. You can't tell me nothing about Curtis Wilson, because I've already drawn my own picture. And I know my picture came from the heart. And it's going to always be that way until I leave this earth. He calls me all the time, Carlton, you good? Yeah, Wolf, I'm good, dog. I'm good. And I know why he was doing that because of about 4 or 5 years. I ain't gonna even tell you no lie. Sometimes I look in the mirror and say, "How are you still here?" Because I was sick and hard head. Wouldn't go to the doctor. Wouldn't take my medicine. I just said it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And finally, one day, my wife looked at me and she said, "So you gonna make your son go through this because you hard head?" And right now, I feel like I'm in the best shape I've been in a long time. And a lot of that came from encouragement from Wolf. Man, do what they're telling you to do. Do the right thing.
Yeah. I that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, hey, I appreciate all y'all sharing. I'm gonna close this out with my own personal experience with Wolf. What we go back to, dog? September?
September.
September, right.
When
So
you
we
saw the
met,
documentary.
yeah, we met in September, right? And instantly when I saw some of the footage on, that they had been shooting, I kind of felt a kindred spirit to the project, right? The guy who's executive producing the project is a friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time, and it turns out that he knew my wife's family for decades. Like small world that it is. When God ordained something, he ordained it, right?
Yeah.
So the guy who's the executive producer of the documentary was my wife's cousin's roommate in the 80s in college, right? And so we had known each other, and we had recently had a car accident where car was parked on the streets of St. Louis and somebody racing tore my wife's car up, and I had gave my car to my son to take back to Arizona because his car went down. And I work at home, so I was like, I'll just drop her off if I need to go do something. So we didn't have a car, right? And so I was trying to rent a car that day. Just so happened the same day I was trying to rent a car because we trying to let the insurance company do what they gonna do. But there was so many cars involved in the accident and buildings and all that. It's taking a while. So I was trying to find a reason not to go that night to where the executive producer's project was trying to get me to come. He never told us what we was coming for or nothing. But it's the type of relationship that if he asked me to show up, I'ma show up. But I was having such a day that day. I was like, man, I just need to go home and start over tomorrow, right? Y'all know what them days are. And so um, at the last minute, because I didn't get a car, they didn't have none. It was something going on in St. Louis, they ain't had none. The last minute, my brother-in-law, Goosey, was heading to a softball tournament. And he called me and he said, hey, can you drop me off at the airport? And I said, I don't have a car. And he said, oh, just keep mine. So I wind up keeping his car, dropping him off at the airport, keeping his car so I could go meet Wolf that night, right? So me and my wife showed up. He had a Mikan shirt on, right? And leaned at my wife. I said, that's the team your brother played for before and volley be coaching. And she was like, oh, it sure is. Still didn't know what was going on because we hadn't seen nothing. So then we see it, and I see it softball. Anyway, I introduced myself. There are a lot of elements to his story when you start talking about, because I'm from Chicago, I'm from a GD neighborhood. I knew all about the GDs growing up. Never fell into that, even though, we had to navigate it every day, right? Growing up. So talked to every woman I knew in my life whose opinion mattered to me. And I talked to him about their situation. His situation, including my daughter. She's 19. And to a person, everybody was like, that don't even sound right. Right. To a logically thinking person, how do you catch a case having consensual sex with your girlfriend when you're in high school? Right. So that kind of goes back to everybody who want to believe something negative going to believe it anyway, because we all had sex. Well, I ain't going to speak on everybody. I had sex when I was in high school. All right. So, those who was able to hold on to it, praise God. But so anyway, then me and Wolf, we started building. a relationship, right? Talk a lot, multiple times a day, sharing. I don't talk about myself a lot. And until I'm comfortable and I feel like, okay, there's somebody I can bring into what's going on. So me and Wolf didn't already had to have a sit down, right? Uh, to get some misunderstandings understood. So when you was telling that story, Gary, I related to it because we already had to do that, right? And I think we came out of it better, right? With mutual respect for each other, like men do, men shit. And so I started, and then Carlton, when you was talking about your medical stuff, I started sharing with Wolf some of my medical. I'm a miracle. I shouldn't be here. I should be dead. Uh, Last November, my doctors had to break my neck and reset it because I didn't have proper spinal fluid going to my brain, right? So they had to go in, shave some stuff, put some plates in. Then I had to double back a couple months later, had half my thyroid taken out because I had two cancer nodules on it. I got tumors on my spine. I got all kind of stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
And the man calls me every day or texts me, asks me how I'm doing, asks me about my kids, asks me about my wife, asks me about my brother-in-law every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm on God's grace right now, right? And I do what I'm supposed to do medically. That's why I'm still in St. Louis because I was trying to get up out of here. I was maybe trying to come back to Texas because, like I said, me and my wife lived out there for 5 years and we were splitting time or going back to Chicago. But I got such great doctors, right? Love my church. Now I got my brother, right? And so we're gonna build this. So I can personally speak to the type of caring individual that he is. When you in his triangle, uh, uh, he laughing. You know what that is, man. So when you in the triangle, he carry care, right? And so I appreciate y'all being here, sharing y'all stories and experiences, especially on this holiday weekend. Um, we getting ice rain right now. It just started raining ice over here. Wolf, I don't know if you're getting it over there, if you can hear it pelting off your windows. But thank y'all. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
I like to stay connected with each one of y'all.
Yeah.
So, Wolf, maybe you can put us in like a group text. I'd like to share my contact information. And please share any stories or experiences that y'all have, that you want to have, anything you want to say, because we're going to start building the script and all that stuff. And that's the type of information that we need. So I appreciate y'all being here today.
Before we go, I definitely want to say something before we go.
Absolutely. I was finna turn it over to you.
I ask these people right now to be on here because they're dear to my heart, including Lorenzo Taylor. When all this stuff went down, it was hard. It was hard to be labeled that. Me and Gary, we had plenty of conversations in the past about a certain individual that, I'm not going to bring up, but I'm like, as he said, why me when there's other entities that's worse than my situation? But why me? Gary has made me a better person. He's the jokester of the team. He keeps everybody upbeat. But when it's all said and done, when it's time to hit the ground, definitely one of the strongest competitors. But would keep you laughing, would keep you grounded, keep your heart smooth, keep your heart at peace. And he also has that reverent tone about the good book. So he has a mixture of everything that I'm always gonna have my ear open to that. And I appreciate you, Gary Welch. Since day one, thank you. Carlton, best coach I've ever had. And I've had a lot of coaches. But Carlton, not just a friend, not just a coach, but a great person. There was a time that I know that he was going to get into a situation with Nut, and I was ready to fight Nut. And I'm good friends with Nut, and they're coaches. But that's how much I had Carlton's back. And I know you're going through a lot of good things in your life with your sons, and I'm your biggest fan, Carlton. And I appreciate you for always standing up for me, always. And say the best for last, my sis Pam. Thank you. And no words can describe how I feel about you, sis. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
Woo!
You know we cry together, so let's not do that. We need to look good on this documentary. Well, but hey, this is true from the heart though.
It is. For me too, it's not just tears of joy or tears of pain, but it's tears of breathing.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much. And I'll see you soon, Pam.
Yeah. Make sure you send Dee the pictures of the hospital and the U-Haul rides.
I got you.
They
Good.
need to be in the documentary.
They're
We
gonna be in
good.
this. They're gonna be in this episode too. I'm gonna splice everything in. So
Tell the girls, Pam, that it's a new year.
They waiting on you. I already told them they waiting on you. And the other coaches are scared.
I'm coming.
Come on.
All right.
All
Love
right. All right. Love y'all.
all right, I appreciate all y'all. Very
All
nice to
right.
meet y'all, and we'll be up again.
Love you, Gary. Love you,
All right.
Carlton.
Take care. Love you.
Love you too,
Take care,
D.
y'all.
I
Love you.
just met you, but love you.
We family. We Texas kin.
Yeah.
All right, y'all be easy. All right, I appreciate
Okay. All right.
it. All right. All right. So we back for part 2 of this episode. So what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you having me again, my show, and just ready to do this. I got this episode, man, is really it's really dear to my heart because it's just from my roots here in St. Louis and the guys that I've had a relationship with or crossed paths with on my journey. They're very important to me with this documentary. So appreciate them being on here.
No doubt. And I'm gonna introduce myself to you fellas. My name D Miller. I'm working with Wolf on this podcast and then into this documentary and everywhere else we're gonna take it, film, TV show, non-for-profits, any and everything else that we doing. This is the root of it. And so, this is a softball episode. So when we were talking and kind of pre-game planning this thing, he had a list of people here locally and a few people outside of the state that he said were like core people on his journey, and y'all represent those. So I'm gonna ask each one of y'all to kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, because I think it's important for people to understand, when we talk about softball, just how diverse of a people are part of the culture, right? And so we done met a lot of people from healthcare professionals to lawyers to all of that. So I think it's important, man, that people know who and what you guys are and represent, man. So on my screen, I'm just go down. I'm gonna start in the top left, James. That's where you at. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. My name is James Haynes. I'm a project manager, and I've been knowing Wolf for some years, man. We through softball. I met him through my brother, and him and I just clicked. We just clicked, and we just been friends ever since. And we're talking about some decades here as well, just playing softball and hanging out as friends. So Wolf's a great guy. We have a great time together, and I enjoy his company and he enjoy mine. We really click. That's about it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Nice to meet you. I
Nice to
don't
meet
see a
you,
name,
Jay.
so I'm just gonna go 5-footer down
What's up,
right
good?
below James.
Yeah, my name's Leroy, aka 5-footer. I'm a pipe fitter. I've been knowing my big bro Wolf. That's who got me in the game of softball, fresh out of baseball. Remember playing a tournament against this team, Class Act, and then had the potential to to shine against one of the best teams in the league. And ever since then, he bred me to being the type of softball player that I am. And I'm just glad to be his. They always say, "Man, where your brother Wolf at?" I said, "Well, he's still around." And I said, "Yeah, he's still kicking it though." But yeah, that's the man that changed my career in ball playing. So I really appreciated what he did. He done for me. So I try to take my knowledge now to teach the young guys to have the potential the same that I had.
That's what's up, man. Very nice to meet you, brother. Reginald.
Yeah, Reggie Farrar, HR consultant by trade. I've been in HR for over 35 years. But during that time, I also played competitive softball, first against Wolf, and we had some battles. And ultimately, I saw the opportunity. I saw it as an opportunity to be able to play with him. And in that opportunity, we were very successful and one of the better teams in this area and one of the better teams in the country. So it was definitely a great journey playing with him, playing against him and with him, because he's a competitive guy. And so definitely coming on board with Class Act was a pivotal moment in my softball career. So very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you, bro.
For sure.
Appreciate you. Definitely very nice to meet you. Mr. Dumas.
Turn his mic off. His mic on.
Only Dumas.
Turn your mic off, man.
All right, well, we'll swing back around when he check back in.
Yeah, he might be caught up in something right now.
Yeah, you know
Cut
how
his
that
camera
goes.
off too.
Yeah,
He down there.
it's
He down there. He taking batting practice. Trying to still learn how to hit.
All right, well, I'm gonna jump right in then. Hey, so each one of y'all, man, no particular order, man. Y'all can kind of chime in how you want to, man. How y'all meet Wolf? I know you said you met him on playing against him 5-footed, but how y'all meet, man? Y'all, each one of y'all, give me that story.
Let me take it back down memory lane. So when I was my
I'm
first
trying to
job
remember.
was my first job was I was a junior in high school. I was working at McDonald's on 367, and this dude come here. I said, "Who's this?" And I ain't realized at the time that my manager he was dating. So he come in there. I said, "Oh, this little Jerry curl slick back dude here." Then I go outside with the blue. Then he got the nice Cavalier with the lights on, the blinking lights and stuff. I say, "Oh boy, we got action." So this cool dude here. Then I used to always hear about him. He turned the animals house, break dancing and all that good stuff. So that's how I first met him. It was my when I was a junior in high school at McDonald's on 367.
Yeah, I remember.
That's what's up. Reggie, how you meet him?
Yeah, it was on the softball field for sure. You were playing with Volley at the time, I think.
Yeah, it was my second team.
Yeah, and we battled. That was one of our fiercest competitors, and I saw the competitiveness in Wolf, and we played against them for years, and then I didn't even know it at the time, but for whatever reason, he just started his own team, Class Act, and ultimately asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, and I said absolutely. So it's been a long journey playing with him, watching him play, but it's definitely been a great journey for me.
What's up? That's what's up. Ron, what's happening, brother? If I can ask you to introduce yourself.
You City guys.
I'm Dumas from U City. I met Wolf through Eisenhower Young. I was playing semi-pro football, and Ike introduced me to softball. And I'm a late bloomer. I didn't start. They had been playing softball probably about 15 years when I started. And Wolf used to beat the brakes off our teams that I played on. So it made me get my game better. He taught me how to hit through the 5-man, and it's been history ever since. When you talk about softball, that's the first name you're gonna hear is Curtis Wolf.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So y'all met playing softball. Yeah, I mean, that's how you met. Well, like you said, you was beating. His team was whooping your team, and then
Beating the brakes off us. He's the first team I ever seen play the 5-man.
okay.
You know, and when people say the 5-man, that's when you bring the outfielder and you only have 3 outfielders and you bring the extra man into the infield.
Right. Right. Okay. Cool. James, what's up? What's your story, man?
Well, basically, my story is just like everybody else. I met him through softball and got more of an introduction through my brother with Wolf. They had a relationship before, but I met him playing against him, just like everyone else playing against him. He was winning, a lot of games, and I noticed he would seek out the players from other teams that were pretty good, and that's how he kind of built his team. Which that's how ultra competitive he is. Sorry about that. He always wanted to make sure he got the best players from every team and make sure all the relationships connected together. So playing softball against him and I, developed a great relationship. And him and I had several conversations about, man, you way above a lot of us. You need to leave. And that's where it came into him really getting into more and more into the softball world. And I'm sure that's something later on you probably will ask us about, so I don't want to jump the gun too much, but it's basically through softball.
Okay. Okay.
That's all we do. That's all we do.
Wolf, let me ask you a question, man. Because Class Act, do you have local teams and national teams, or was it one team and people just kind of came from everywhere to play?
Well, when I first started Class Act, like I said, it was before I was living in St. Louis. It started in the penitentiary, but officially it started 1997, 1998. It was just a local guys from here in St. Louis. Really, I came from a team called the Strokers, and our nemesis was a team called Explosion. They was a better team, but we used to give them fits. But they was very, very, very good. But they were like on a downside from their success. So one thing led to another. I was getting kind of fed up of not really winning like I want to, or being in that type position. I didn't trip off the money because I was getting paid to play, but by a private sponsor. But it was like it was more to I wanted to win. I was like, fuck the money, I want to win. And that's when me, Machine, Tufo, and Sal, we all got together and had a conversation saying let's put something special together in 1998. And remember I told you I had to play in Chicago and I made my GD brothers there. Well,
Yeah.
Machine was one of the original Class Act guys that was there, and that was how Class Act started. We won like 34 games in a row. We was a very dominant team.
Yeah.
And I of course I started the 5-man because no other black rec team was doing the 5-man.
Yeah.
All the upper teams were doing it, but no rec teams. And I said, you know what? We can do it because we play indoor softball. It's built like a 5-man infield at the Armory or at Jamestown. So it's like my mind was just racing. I said, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. We was very successful. In 1998, we won 75-10 and won a world championship in Dayton, Ohio. That's how Class Act was birthed or born.
Let me touch on that because we may have a first here. So Farrar, you was there in Chicago that day. That Wolf was just. Did you know what was going on?
In
Like
terms
that
of
date for him, like when his GD brothers came to see him play, were you aware of what was going on that day?
No, it was definitely all about softball for me. It was really a great opportunity. We hadn't played in Chicago, so to be able to go up there and play, it was great. I had no idea the side story that was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, because go ahead, Will.
Because I buried the life I had. I buried it, and when I said my past caught over my present, it was in Chicago, and I kept it from my teammates. But I think remember we had that long rain delay. We were going to play Pony Express for the championship. Yeah, that's when it went down when my GD brothers came to me.
Okay.
So yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah,
is that something you comfortable talking about right now, Will?
Yeah, it's fine.
Go ahead, tell them the story because I ain't heard it, but I wanted to know what it looked like from your side.
So it was I don't know if it was our first out of town tournament. I mean, I don't know, but
it was early.
Okay, it was 1998. Michael Jordan threw a tournament in Chicago, Washington Park, and I knew in the back of my mind, like, damn, I gotta, because I know that's where GDs are born. That's where they from. But I never told my teammates none of this stuff, so I just kept it in my pocket. And so we playing, and we play against Lakeside. We just playing all different type of teams, and everybody was like tripping that we playing. They never seen a reg team play a 3-man outfield. All you can say, we finna go to the gaps and all. And no, we was built different. We had the best pitcher on the mound named Sal. Kid was probably the best center fielder at the time. So we played well together. Machine was my number 2 hitter. Tupou was my leadoff hitter. So the reason why I call him a Machine because he's like an automatic. He's set up for me and Sal to do what we need to do. So when we going through beating these teams, in the back of my mind, I kept seeing different, GD brothers here and there, but I didn't say nothing to them because I wasn't living that type of life no more.
Yeah.
And so we get ready to play for the championship, a team called Pony Express from Detroit, and they were really good. But this is going to be our first real big test because we felt like we can beat anybody. And to put a team together for the first year to be that dominant, it wasn't just about behind the best players, but we just gelled really good together. So it just started raining real bad, and that's when Eyes and 12 other GDs walked up to me and saw me, and I walked up to them, and they said, "Damn, man, we heard you play ball. We didn't know you was that good." So I'm trying to break the ice with them, and I said, "Y'all, I play pretty good, but I'm watching. They're not circling me, but they're around me." And so I said, Eyes is like, Eyes he's a killer. The reason why they call him Eyes because he had eyes like me, so they call him Eyes from Chicago. He said, well. So I basically said, I left the organization because it was time to do something different. And they said, well, they could have killed me if they wanted to, but they saw that when it comes to GD, Gangster Disciple, and Growth and Development, we was going through the era of called BOSS, Brother of Success or Brother of Struggle. They saw me being successful. So Eyes and the rest of the G's said, you know what? We're going to let you do what you do. Be boss. Be Brother Success. Take care of yourself. Just know who you are. And they let me go. They could have knocked me, but they let me. They gave me a pass and let me live on my life of softball. So that's what that was up. That's what that was all about.
Yeah, that's what's up. And so, Reggie, you sitting around thinking we just playing softball. We got a rain delay. You didn't know that Wolf was over there having a conversation about whether he was going to live or die in that moment.
No, I had no idea. I never even saw the conversation. I don't know what I was doing at the time. Probably with my wife or whatever, but no, I had no idea that even transpired. So he definitely kept it from us.
And so with y'all kind of knowing like both sides, how does that play? Like, how do y'all reconcile that? Just kind of knowing like, okay, dude was like the man in Missouri for the GD, but then he was also the man for softball. Right.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. He did a phenomenal job because I never knew that. I've since learned it, but during the time we played together, that never came up. He never brought that to us. It never impacted our game. It never impacted any of our interactions. So I had no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I do now, but during that time, no, it never came up.
Yeah. God, that was a real God moment too, because like I said, being from Chicago, growing up in the neighborhood, that was like I seen it. Like I knew what it was. So, the fact that they said, go grow and develop, had to be a testament to like what you was putting down out there on the field. And then that being said, y'all talk to me about like work ethic. Like, what did y'all see playing with him, practicing with him, coming up? What did y'all see in the way that he worked?
Yeah, and I can share first. As he mentioned, I played with a team called Explosion, and we were pretty successful. We had won a world championship. We had second in another championship, so we were good. I think, as he pointed out, our we had kind of reached our pinnacle, and some brothers were going off to do other things. Nelly played on our team at one time. A couple brothers got into some trouble. I mean, like it kind of fell apart, for lack of a better term. But the way he prepared, the way he taught us how to prepare, Leroy talked about it. The mental aspect of the game, I learned from him. I learned it,
I didn't know that.
Listen, we worked at Explosion. We worked, but as you said, we ain't know nothing about no 5-man. We didn't know nothing about no 3 outfielders. None of that was part of the Explosion success.
Okay, right.
We worked out preseason, but we didn't play in no indoor leagues. We didn't do any of those kinds of things. So when you talk about preparation, that was the piece that I think helped my softball career grow to what it was. That was the piece that was different from my time at Explosion. And like I said, we were very successful. We were one of the more successful teams in the area at that time. And we prepared, but we didn't prepare like I prepared when I was with Class Act. It was a different level, and the results of it showed.
What's up? What's up? Who else? Anybody else?
Yeah, that mental part with Wolf, man, is serious. I mean, he can really drill the stuff into you until you really get it, and you can see how that will work for you in the tournament or a game, just regular league play. Because Reggie talks about the team, the Strokers, when he played against them. I remember playing against them up at Forest Woods, a park here in St. Louis, that we played up against the Strokers and stuff, and just to see how he prepared himself for the game and for practice or anything, the mental part is serious. So I coach a few teams now. Every year, I always put a couple of teams together, and we'll play in some big tournament. And we always win. It's just the preparation. He has a saying, you gotta be prepared, and I'll let him tell you his saying, the 5 P's and all that stuff. But so I don't want to butcher it, Larry. Leroy, you already know. I don't want to butcher it up. But the 5 P's and all that stuff, man, you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. So I think we all learned a lot from him, a lot. And Reggie, he's right on target with that. We've learned a lot from Wolf on that part.
Yeah. So did all you guys did all y'all play on Class Act at one time or the other?
Not at all at one time at the same time, bits and pieces, different times.
Okay. So how good of an organization was Class Act?
Oh, it's the best.
Best I've seen.
Just like Reggie said, they was the number one team. It was the best. Everybody was gunning to beat Class Act. Yeah, I mean, if you beat them, you felt good. You felt good for the moment because you wasn't beating them again. If you beat them that once, that was pretty much that was it. Because I remember, I think I played on the team and we won one game against them at Duke Park. And man, we was all pumped. We was pumped. Next time, I think we probably got a short game real quick. They took care of us real quick, fast, and easy. So I was like, yeah, I think I need to go play with them guys.
So, Dumas, let me ask you this question. So what do you think of the culture of softball here in St. Louis? Because like long before I knew anything about it, like I knew that Nelly was like a heavy baseball, softball guy. That would be talked about in the building out in California. Like, what was the culture of softball in St. Louis? Because I know the original like black organization came out of here for softball black softball players. What's the culture like when you got in?
The culture is, like I said, 2-4 Reggie automatic. You know what I'm saying? When they probably batted 99%, they stayed on base. You know what I'm saying? So you had to try to build your team to go with 2-4, Reggie, Sal, Wolf, and Lil Richie. Those hitters right there, those the best hitters I've ever seen in softball. Even when I've been out of town on the BSC level, nobody was consistent as those guys, and they started the culture. So that's when Nelly came and started Dirty after Class Act broke up, and then Nelly started the culture and continued it. But that's where it started. Everybody got a little tidbit off of Class Act, and nobody's mentioning it. Supreme. Supreme actually was. I never got a chance to really see those guys play, but Explosions, Class Act, Dirty, those teams right there started the culture,
Okay.
and
Okay.
everybody kind of piggybacked off of that.
Right. Took a piece of it. Any of y'all
Yeah,
still playing right now?
yeah, I
I'm in,
still
I'm
play.
in, I'm in semi-retirement.
You gonna have to elaborate what semi-retirement means.
It means I still kind of play, and I still don't play. So every now and then,
Yeah.
no, I hurt my knee, so ironically, at 50 years old, I had tore my knee about 3 years ago in senior ball. Didn't even know. I just thought it was like arthritis. And then I had to say, no, let me go get a X-ray. The doctor gonna tell you, well, yeah, it's just arthritis, and they won't put all this in. And I know my body, it wasn't right. So I said, let me go get an MRI. They said, well, yeah, it's arthritis, but you got a torn meniscus. So I had my first knee surgery 2 years ago, and ever since then, I mean, I've been playing, but it ain't been the same. So they said, then it's bone on bone now. So I mean, that's it. I got a brace for it. It's kind of helps out with it, but yeah, that's what I mean by semi-retirement because of that. But I still don't know what I'm gonna do. If I'm gonna get my knee replaced or just let it go. So that's still up in the air right
A
now.
lot of
So
wear and tear, a lot of wear and tear on all of us.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. D, you asked about the culture, and I think aside from Wolf, I probably started earlier than everybody else on the call. I started playing softball in 1995, and it was a little pickup team. It was playing in leagues during the week and that kind of thing. But Explosion started in 1996, if I'm not mistaken. And that was really when competitive, it was called rec, but it really began to be competitive softball. And that's when teams, we'll talk about traveling to Chicago. That's when teams started to travel. That's when teams started to play in tournaments every weekend. So probably from 96 until 2010, maybe a little longer than that, but softball was the thing in St. Louis. You got flag football, you got all these other things, but softball was the thing. You would get crowds coming out to the games on the weekends for tournaments. That was the culture of sports in St. Louis during that era. And
Yeah, yes.
what
Go
you
ahead, Mr. Go ahead.
go ahead,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead, Machine. I'll wait. Go ahead.
What you saw was everybody competed, but there were certain teams that rose to the level that James talked about where everybody wanted to beat them. I was fortunate enough to play on two of those teams, but there's elevation and there's levels to it. And when I was able to join Class Act and see the journey that we went on, I don't think anyone, and I could be wrong, but I don't think anyone had the type of success that we had during that time. Maybe after, but during that time, softball was the biggest sport. Um, Competitive softball was the biggest sport in St. Louis during that era. And I feel like we were one of, if not the best team through longevity of success during that era.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
Class Act had much more success than even Explosion did, and Explosion was very successful. So I think that was the culture of St. Louis sports at that time.
Yeah, so piggyback of what Machine said, the culture was, built on, of course, music. But when we go out of town to play ball against different states, the main thing for us back in St. Louis is come play back at that Monday night at Fairground.
Yep.
That was the call to jump. We like, if you can play at Fairground, you can play anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made us so good because, we can be playing in an intense game. You can hear gunshots going around us. We like, shit, we keep on playing. So it's easy for us to go play in a hostile environment somewhere else. That's what made us so competitive. That's what made us so successful. Not just with Class Act, but other teams that was with us. Even though we was like the tip and spear of St. Louis when it came to softball, with Prime Time and Supreme, the women's team, and the Supreme, the men's team, we were definitely a success story to talk about. Because I said I take this to my grave. Class Act should be a Hall of Fame name. Because we changed the game as well as the culture. Because a lot of teams didn't want white players on their teams. I invited, if you good, you can play. Come on, but you can't be no average white dude. Because if you just average, I'll just go get another brother.
Yeah.
So that was the difference with us.
Yeah. So do y'all think that that could happen again? Like that type of movement, that type of era? Do y'all think that could happen here in St. Louis again?
No, sir.
I was gonna say you have to ask some of the brothers that's
No,
still playing, but
it's
I don't think
No,
so.
no,
it's
no.
it's no younger guys has followed what Reggie and Wolf started. So there's nobody behind us to come back and start that. Nobody. You got the Jelly Boys, and they so far off the pinnacle, and they the closest.
Yeah, I actually didn't seen them play a gang of times. I
Yeah,
think I saw them in Forest Park like a couple months ago. I think I might have been out
yeah,
there. Uh,
yeah. See, and they the
Yeah, yeah.
closest, and they so far away that they don't have a clue because they weren't paying attention to the culture. They weren't paying attention. So if you was
yeah,
to talk to their leaders, they wouldn't even be able to explain to you what direction they want to go.
yeah,
The biggest thing about St. Louis black softball, St. Louis softball period is when it comes to our culture, you gotta know what the culture is about. You gotta know the history. It helps you motivate you to be better, have a better understanding. Okay, well, when I grew up playing the game, all I kept hearing about was Lil Mike and Killer and Hammer. I'm like, who are these guys? I mean, what makes them so good? So they were like my motivation to outdo them. They were like my my steps to get to. And for me to go and get my own team because I was being successful for other teams to make them better. I said, no, I want to. I get the credit, but it's like I feel empty still. And I said, let me go do my own thing, and because I know how I want my blueprint to be. And if guys that's on my team that learned anything, they'll take that blueprint to another team and make that team successful like we were.
so let me ask you this question, Wolf. Let me ask all of y'all. Do you see another you coming that's out there right now?
Another me, talking about another me
Another you, another.
in St.
If you
Louis.
Mike, is there a Kobe out there? Is it a LeBron?
And when it comes to black St. Louis softball, and be honest with you, two people come to mind if they had put the work in it. But I think one can be definitely influenced with when it comes to smoking weed too much. I don't smoke or drink, but Little Tim and James' son, Devon, to me they had very great potentials of being the next Wolf per se, if you want to call it that, to be coming out of St. Louis. But it's up to their work habits. I mean, I had opportunity to work with James' son and put Devon in good situations when it came to Adidas and other stuff. And he's a hell of a ball player. We grew up the same because being the only brother on the team, you got to be twice as good as the white dude. So he knows that story, and he's been very successful doing that. My hat's off to him when it comes to the mental aspect about the game.
Yeah.
And little Tim, man, he's a beast. He way better than his daddy, Big Tim. And just to put him in a good, better situation, man, he'd be unstoppable if somebody gave him that opportunity. But I don't really see. I'm going to be modest and humble with it. I just don't see nobody else really being that hungry out of St. Louis.
Oh yeah.
Wolf, our pitcher's up. He may punch us in the right again. There you go. Another punch in the right.
Come on, Mo.
Oh, bobble the ball. Who's coming in the second?
Right by each other. That's what we were talking about last night. Right there.
Stan, we got the other guy with shortstop recovered from surgery. Shit, I don't know.
So this is how you pitch to your defense. Communicate talking. So all about muscle memory. I know that the guy likes the backside. So what I did was throw a knuckleball in and made it push the outside right to my middle man. So watch this. Talking to him, go over here. Shortstop, Rat's over there. Sammy's coming out. My middle man's right there. So watch the knuckleball breaks in and it's gonna fade it out. Right to him. Step and throw. That's how you pitch to the defense. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah. That's what I'm talking right there. That's what we gotta have. That's the one that makes the difference.
That's why, yeah.
Ready?
Hey, smack it hard here. Come on, youngin. Come on, youngin. Here we go! Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, he was being modest. The answer is no. Is there ever going to be another Michael? Is there ever going to be another Kobe?
Not going to be.
Is there ever going to be another LeBron? No. Is there potential for some kids to grow up and put in the work? Maybe. I have to be honest with you. Even when I played with Wolf, he still put in more work than I did. You know, that's the kind of leader he was. He held us accountable for putting in our work, but he would always put in more. And I knew it. And I was just like, shit, I can't do that. Right? It got to that point. But, you know, I knew what I could do and I did everything I could plus some. But he approached it differently. And I have to believe it was because of all the things that you're sharing with people in his background and how he grew up and the things that he had to encounter. But he approached it differently than anybody I've ever seen.
But one thing I will say, and we'll go on to something else, D, James, Dumas, and Leroy. Machine, and Class Act, my guys, we pushed each other. And we stayed humble with it. We was never walked around with our chest all out or had a big head. None of us. And that's what I love about my guys. And we knew that we was the target as we walk into the park. There's been plenty of times when teams see they got to play us on the bracket. They already lost mentally because they knew they had us. But we didn't take that for granted. We still put our foot in your ass. And because we didn't want nobody having to feel like, damn, we can actually beat them. But we didn't want you to have that feeling. You know, but I respect every person that wore a class act jersey to this day and beyond, because it takes a special type of ball player to play with class act, and that's what Moose said in the news article he put one day. And I forgot the exact words he used, but he kind of like said, to play with class act, you can't come and play. You got to be already ready to play.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I'll never forget that. And that was from a guy that used to play with Supreme. It was never known for his bat. It had a hell of a glove. Everybody had to do what they had to do to be successful with our team, and we put it together like Voltron.
You know, Machine, you had said something I want to go back to, and you talk about the things that he's had to endure, right? So, all you guys know what happened last February 2024 in St. Anne, where he got accused of stalking, right? Among other things. When y'all heard that, how did it hit y'all? I want to hear from all y'all on that.
When I heard it, I said, nah, I said, it can't be right. And then because I've been, knowing him so long, he would never be that type of person that would do something like that. But when I saw the date of it, I said, who takes their kid to school on a Saturday and Sunday? And then it dawned on me. I said, oh, it's a setup for failure for him, and for him not to stalk nobody. So just like you got the people in St. Louis now go around the ballparks to this day and say, "Oh, you heard about Wolf? He did." I said, "No," but you still got the haters still to this day. They're still like, "Yeah, he is." I said, "No, it wasn't true." But yeah, it was disheartening, shocking, but I already knew he was innocent by far means.
Yeah. James?
I think when I heard it, I was at a bowling alley with my wife and my family. We were bowling, and it came across the phones, and somebody showed it to him. Like, look at your boy now. Look at your boy. And I looked, and I said, man, that definitely can't be true. I did not believe it one iota. And I was just waiting to, of course, immediately after I heard it, I tried to contact him. Of course, you couldn't, but when he got a chance, he contacted me, and we talked about it, and I knew it was, just like Leroy says, a lot of haters. And I just told him, I said, you guys are just hating on him for no reason. Let him speak his piece, and the truth will come out. And I'm so glad it did come out, because that really it shook me for a minute, but I never believed it, never believed it to be true.
Yeah. Dumas, how it hit you?
Um, Wolf would never do nothing like that. So, I really never engaged or, you're gonna hear rumors all the time. But once I talked to him and he told me, man, come on, man, it wasn't, I never doubted it for a reason, for messing with a little girl. That's just crazy. Some people, you never know what they're capable of. But when you talking about something like this, that's huge because all of us has Leroy. We all got daughters. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I would never, you know what I'm saying? I done brought my kids around them. Would never thought that, one bit, you know.
Yeah. Machine?
And I've been, uh, call me a recluse, call me whatever. I have an 11-year-old, so that takes up a lot of my time. I don't even know what y'all talking about. I never even heard about this. So
So
it didn't affect me at all, but it wouldn't affect me because I know what kind of guy he is. So
so if you in previous episodes, and I don't know if y'all had the opportunity to look at, because it's a lot of episodes we've done so far, but the city of St. Anne accused Wolf of stalking fifth grade. Was she a fifth grader?
She was in elementary school.
Elementary
Oh,
school, right? And like Leroy said, on a Saturday, school closed. Um, they said he stalked her for 5 days, following her. And then she told her mom, and her mom called the police, and they launched an investigation. Um, and internally, like, we did our own digging, and then we had people that have been contributing to the podcast who are literally forensic investigators, lawyers. Think those are the type of people that's been watching this. And we started digging into the paperwork, right? And by their own paperwork and reports, they knew what they took to the news was a lie when they took it. They knew it was a lie. They had already cleared them. I mean, it's in their paperwork. And we put it in the podcast. It's episode 5 or 6, 4, 5 or 6, one of them episodes. And so before he even walked into the police station himself, because it was brought to his attention by another police force, they already knew he was innocent. Now, I'm going to just throw this out there and people can interpret it the way they want to. The chief of police in that city, his brother and some of his relatives grew up and went to school with Wolf. And so there could have been some personal agendas, right? They called the media, Channel 5, Channel 2, gave them the story, knowing it was a lie. They paperwork proves it 100%. Then they put it on their Facebook page, their community Facebook page, saying that they took a serial stalker and serial sex offender off the streets, knowing it was a lie, right? We've pointed out to them that we know y'all lied, and here's your paperwork back at you, right? And they quiet because, you know, we have our theories on why they did it, and you know that's for, you know, another time to you know, adjudicate. But you know, I'm gonna say it as many times as I can say it, that they lied. We know they lied.
Well, the thing, not to cut you off, and we're gonna go on from this, but they took the narrative of what happened to me back in 1986. They thought I was still that dude when I really wasn't that dude in high school.
Right. So yeah, you gotta say it that way.
Yeah, so they didn't know that I was out in my old neighborhood doing a documentary, taking pictures of my house where I grew up at and sending everything back to the producers and all that. And the police, they searched all 3 of my cell phones, didn't find no little girl on my phone, none of that. Even though I was innocent, they still sent me to jail because they thought they already put it out. They already showed their hand. If you're playing poker, you already showed your hand. Now they backtracking right now as I'm showing my hand now. And now, you know, they even try to get in contact with D. You talking about we need to take that off of YouTube? Like, no, we're not taking nothing out because they know they messed up.
Yeah, we done heard from the mayor and everybody else. Didn't hear something to say, so we're gonna move on from that. The rest of it gonna keep coming out, but
it's gonna be something beautiful. That's all I can say at the end.
Yes, and you know, kudos to you brothers, man, for, you know, staying faithful, because you know it's a cultural thing where we be trying to wait for one else to fall. You know, if we too high, you know, you always got a subgroup or a subset of people who trying to cut your knees off, and they can't wait for something to happen so they can, you know, jump on as many birds as they can jump on and fly the news all the way around. But anyway, you know, we'll move on from that.
Well, I appreciate that sharing. I had no idea, and I never thought about it.
Yeah, it's like if you hating on me during my success in softball, of course you're gonna hate on my downfall. So it's like, even though I come out clean, you're still gonna hate on me because you wish I was down.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
so there's something wrong with that person as an individual, man. I can't do nothing about that.
No.
Nah. And we, you know, like I said earlier, my wife tell me all the time, you know, the truth don't need no defense, right?
No.
So people can think and do whatever they want to do. But anyway, back to the softball.
Yeah.
So I heard a rumor that that Wolf hit a ball on 55. Is that true? Yeah. Can one of y'all?
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of y'all verify that for me, because you know
I can vouch to it. I can vouch. Yeah.
What was that at Wolf?
What was that? Hit an 18-wheeler.
Hit an 18-wheeler
on the highway
while it was moving.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. Urban legend confirmed.
It ain't no legend. It ain't no rumor. It's a fact.
It's a straight fact.
That's the fact.
Today's a very special day today. This is the 25th anniversary of why I'm at this park. It's called Peevely Sun Valley Sports Complex. It's off 55 South. A lot of teams from Farmington, Cape Girardeau, all the southern boys, they always come to this park. And all the St. Louis guys from the up north, we all just come here and get our bang on. Great competition, great ball players. It used to be all dirt when I played here in the early 2000s, late 1990s. Now, then after I stopped playing, they started putting AstroTurf in the field. And I guess a lot of guys got hurt, and that's when they took the AstroTurf off, and then the complex just went down from that, and they closed up the complex. But the reason why I'm here, like I said, today's the 25th anniversary. This park was built in 1976. Come to find out, I'm the only one to ever hit the highway here on 55. The park is 300-foot fence around. Up the hill is like another 100 feet. And towards, it hit like in the middle of an 18-wheeler, and they felt like the ball would have probably went on the other side of the highway. So they said they estimate the park to hit the distance like 450 feet. To me, I thought it was done already, but I thought somebody ever did it. But come to find out, I'm the first and only person that ever did it. A lot of great ball players has been here. Big Earl, Todd Drellin, Egghead, Sal, Big Wayne, all those guys are great ball players and hit the ball. The ball that they always hit always land on top of the hill or right in the middle of the hill, but never to the highway. I hit it good, and so the owner of the place name is Mark Bauman. He came to me and said, well, let me buy that bat for me so I can put it on display to let everybody know you're the only person that hit a home run on the highway here. I was swinging a EST Worth bat. And back then we had better softballs. It was a 50-core red dot that I used. It's like a concrete ball. I mean, I hit it good. I was playing with a team called Class Act. I was a St. Louis superstar, but I wasn't a superstar to the world yet. I was just still trying to get out my shell, and I hit it real good. So, like I said, this is the 25th anniversary as of today. That's why I came here. And great memories. I'm sorry that the park is gone, but at the same time, just want to let everybody know I did it. I'm the only person that ever did it, and I appreciate everybody. Peace.
Yeah. So, and once again, I want to say I appreciate y'all, taking y'all time out today.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. I really do.
Yeah, I know it's a holiday week. You got, everybody got food, family, whatever else going on, football on. But
Yo, you only saying that because Chicago in first place, man. Don't start that.
Hey, man, look, you know what I'm saying?
Don't do that.
Hey, I can't knock them, man.
When we flick our hand like that, you know what I'm saying? That
Don't do that.
Yeah, you supposed to.
The Bears is rolling.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, hey, I intentionally didn't put no Bears sweatshirt, hat on, or nothing. Because if you go look at them podcasts, you gonna see a whole lot of that. But
That's what's up.
Yeah.
But hey, look, I'm just as shocked as anybody else. And and I keep waiting on us to lose, and we keep winning. So I'm gonna keep it moving.
That's the key. Keep winning.
That's the key. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? And I think that's true of any sport. The Bears look like they believe they supposed to win now.
Yeah.
Cause they left a lot on the field with Philly. The score didn't look like how bad they beat Philly.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs gonna be all right. I don't know if it's any.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
They ain't gonna be all right this year.
They gonna be all right. We're gonna make the playoffs.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah,
I hope we make the playoffs.
I hope so too, but I just don't see it.
They hurt my heart right now. The defense is horrible.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, Mahomes is Mahomes.
Yeah.
But he can't do it all.
He can't do it all.
And that's the problem. He's trying to do it all.
Yeah. What Machine just said. I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
My guy, he be upset on Sundays when them scores don't be right.
Hey man, let's get back to the podcast.
All right, here we go. Hey man, so each one of y'all, man, what's y'all takeaway, man? Like having a relationship with our brother here, man. Can each one of y'all kind of sum that up for me? In whatever order. Just sum it up, man. What What has y'all relationship with Wolf been like? What does it mean to you, the whole nine?
My brother to the heart.
Them,
That's that.
them Wilson boys.
That's all I. That's my brother to the heart.
That's
Appreciate
what's
it.
up. That's what's up. That's what's up, James.
Well, I would have to say, man, meeting Wolf was a great experience. I love him to death, man. Love him as a brother. It's a great person. And just like you always say, hey, brothers to the heart, man. Great
Appreciate you.
relationship. Love him to death.
Hey, Deep, you remember I told you my last tournament, I won my gold medal?
Yeah.
It's with his team
Okay.
last year. Yes,
Okay.
I
Right.
went out with a bang.
D, I have to say this, just like Reggie and Wolf said, it takes a special person to wear that class act shirt. And I kind of stole this from Wolf. I have a team that I put together called Show Me 50. And I tell Wolf it takes a special person to wear these shirts. Only champions get to wear these shirts. So I kind of stole that from them. So Leroy, wherever you get ready, and Dumas, y'all want to play with me on one of my teams. Yeah, you only special people
Hey,
get to wear those shirts, but you got to
hey,
win.
hey, hey, bro. You
All
give me
right.
the word. I got that
All
special
right.
knee brace I can put on. You give
All
me the
All
right.
right.
word. Hey, don't.
Anytime, James.
Hey,
That's
you already
right.
know it. Hey, big bro. Don't forget about ACA either.
That's right. That's
Oh
right.
yeah.
That's right. Only special people can do
ACA's
that one.
Yeah,
they were
another
like the
class act. We was real.
Yeah,
yeah,
D, that was a
I had
smaller version. It was a
I had a
smaller
minor league
version of
team.
Class Act.
Hey, I had a minor league team
ACA.
called the Class ACA.
Yeah, we was the minor league team.
Okay.
But they shocked
Just
the
because
world when they
Leroy
beat that
brought
number
that
one team
up,
out of Detroit,
it
wasn't it?
was funny. Wolf
Then you
can tell
beat
you
the
by
number
the
one team in
time we played
Detroit.
at Bell Fountain, I
Yeah,
think it was
yeah.
Bell Fountain, and the team from Detroit came in, and they came in with the fanfare, the music, singing, everything.
Oh,
I think you remember this, Leroy. We played
Oh,
against them guys.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
weather,
That,
it was kind of chilly, a little muddy field, but it was okay. Same conditions for everybody.
yeah.
And man, we went out and put a beating on them guys.
Boy, hey.
beat them
Hey,
like they
Anything
stole
with
some.
class act, man,
I
you
coached
had a
my ass
target
off
on.
that game. I coached
You
my
talking
ass off. I was so fucking happy. I was more happy that they won, even though Class Act won the tournament. I think I was more happy that my little team beat the number one team in the country at the time.
right,
That's what's
So
up.
right,
did. Yep.
That's
right.
what's
They was number one,
They was
exactly. That's
number
right.
one.
And
Sure was.
we was number three. Then we ended up being the number one. So that's back then they had rankings and stuff. So that was cool.
That's right. So yeah, man, I love it. I love every experience I've ever had with Wolf. It's been great. It's been great.
cool.
It's
Appreciate
been
you, James. Day
Machine.
one A1. Day one A1.
That's right.
Machine, you and Wolf, y'all the OGs. What's it been? What's it been like?
Not to this degree, but we were like Shaq and Kobe. We didn't always agree. And what I appreciated most was I could express it when I didn't agree. That don't mean it went the way I wanted it to go because it was his team. But I knew that I could express how I felt about something if I disagreed. Whereas a lot of times cats ain't gonna even say nothing. They're gonna mumble under their breath or go talk about it afterwards. We didn't have that kind of relationship. If I felt something was wrong, I went to him. I ain't go to nobody else. And in some instances, we didn't agree.
Mm.
But ultimately, we came together with whatever the decision was, and we went forward with it. And that, to me, is what a brother is. That's how I am with my blood brother. We don't always agree, but when we don't agree, we talk about it. We're not going to talk about each other. We're not going to go around to the rest of the team and have something to say. No, I'm going to be a man about it and say, no, I don't think that's right.
Right.
And in instances where he felt, okay, Machine, you right, we went that route. And in cases where he didn't, we went his route. It was his team, and ultimately that's how we functioned. And I think for me, that's what solidified our relationship.
Because as me, not to cut you off, Machine, but I was like, it's hard to find a guy that can coach and play at the same time and have a successful team. It
Yeah.
takes a good group of guys to help you coach, because you're not really coaching at our age. You're only managing the performance.
Yeah.
And but other than that, man, Machine, Twofold, Sal, and the rest of the guys, I can't do nothing but give them kudos because they made me better. And to this day, my two guys, my leadoff and my second hitter, they're not in the St. Louis Hall of Fame, and I have a problem with that. But there was a guy that's in the Hall of Fame, and it was on Class Act. And if our whole team is there at the whole on the field, that dude that's in the Hall of Fame wouldn't he be starting that game?
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is. And James, Footer, Doomas, and the Machine, man, y'all on here for a purpose, not for a reason. Y'all help me grow. Y'all help me get better. We didn't just talk about softball, we talked about life stuff. And what made Class Act so special, again, we didn't have, every team have issues.
Yeah.
But we kept our shit so closed in that people on the outside tried to break us up. We couldn't.
Yeah.
We couldn't. Because we had that brotherhood that we've like, this CA means everything to us, but loyalty is everything else beyond that.
Yeah.
That what made us so special. So
yeah. Doomis.
My take game from this is seeing Wolf at his highest pinnacle and now seeing him at his lowest pinnacle, and he still got his head up. That showed me a whole lot of who he is as a person, as a man. Because I can't say how I would be in this situation. Because this is a hard situation to be in with your family, with people that you know, that everybody surrounds you, got something to say. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot on to bear as a man. You know what I'm saying? So to see him win everything and then try to take his livelihood and his manhood away from him, that's a lot to endure. You know, so that right there gave me the respect to see him, that he still got his head up and still trying to show who he is as a person, not just a softball player.
Appreciate that, D.
Yep.
Yeah, man. One thing I learned is that it's a lot to the brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, we didn't hear a whole lot of conversations about a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
And then through these podcasts, man, like I really even got an opportunity to kind of like know them. And, you know, we got our brotherhood that we building, right? Based on respect. What I like most, man, is that I'm one of them people, man. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do everything I can in my power to do it, right? And in spite of whatever, I'm gonna show up, figure it out, be a man of my word, and that's what I see in him. And that's what ultimately we all respect as men, right?
That's right.
And so I'm a sports junkie. Didn't go down to I don't know, man. I'm one of them dudes, man. I played baseball growing up. I hit a baseball all day, every day. I don't care how fast or slow that softball coming, I can't hit it. So and so respect, right? I can't hit it.
It's like hitting a curveball.
Man, it's different. Hey,
Sit
dog,
back
it's
and wait
different,
on
man. It's different. I didn't hit a 90 mile an hour fastball, curveball, breaking ball, all that. I cannot hit a softball to save my life. Almost it's like a mental block. So I respect each and every one of y'all, man, because it take a lot to do what you do Monday through Friday, right? And then Friday through Sunday, switch gears, become a different person, go out there and compete, right? And so respect to y'all for that, man. And I appreciate y'all joining us here. I'm gonna turn this over to Wolf and let him get the last word. But I just want to tell y'all, man, I appreciate y'all being here. And as we get down the road into this documentary and into the film, man, I'm sure I would love to have a conversation with y'all because I want to make sure because y'all are important people in his universe. And so we need to make sure that y'all influence is captured the right way in the story that we tell. So as a storyteller and a writer, I would like to reach out and talk to y'all individually. Maybe we all here in the St. Louis area so we can break some bread, sit down, talk, you know, whatever. And then offline, we can talk about the other stuff that's going on with this brand and enterprise that we building. Around this Wolf of Ball Street podcast and then everything else that's happening. So I appreciate y'all, Wolf. I'm gonna give it to you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Real quick, fellas. Hey, first of all, again, thank you for being here because it means the world to me. You know, yeah, I've accomplished a lot. I have, even when I'm on bended knee, I'm still fighting to keep my head above water. We all got a story. We all have a story. Some bigger than others, but we all have a story. And you guys are definitely personal friends to me for certain reasons. Dumas, we go back like four flat tires, and Ike was our boy, and we talk about life and softball to this day. And I never told you nothing wrong. Never.
All right.
Even when we taking BP or whatnot, I'm always going to do my best to give you the best advice that somebody gave me because the guy that taught me was making 85 grand a year. So how the hell can he be wrong? So I'll just pass the knowledge,
Right.
man. That's all I can do. And a machine, man, it's my dirty. You made my game better because every time you got on, I said, I got to get the fuck on, because we had our friendly competition as hitters.
For sure.
And that's what pushed us, made us better. And as I push Sal to do what he got to do, and the chain keeps going on. So
Right.
you were definitely a big part of my life, big part of my success, big part of being. But I tell you like this: there's no class act without exposure. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no class act without exposure. So Cato, rest in peace, Michi, all them guys.
Yep.
You guys are y'all part of my life forever.
Right
James, James, dirty. Day one, A1. I first with Tim Shaw with the Panthers. You right there. So didn't know you can make money playing this game. Then I thought this was a girly sport. I'm a baseball guy. I'm like, why ain't playing softball like women? So I got addicted to it because I loved it. Then I know you can get women out of this too and money. I'm like, man, what the hell? It all came together. So, my life, it was very comical. There's been times when shit that happened at Duke Park. My truck getting told I'm in the batter's box, and the girl I was dating tried to get the truck from me, and I hit a home run. I had to go rub into the parking lot, get the damn truck back, and another chick I was dating, two or three different chicks that they out the park together, and one girl in the line, and my other girlfriend trying to sell her the food. She said, "No, I sucked wolf dick long enough to get a free food." So it's like that went crazy. They fighting. So like I said, it's a story to everything. And it's that's the beauty of it, man. Because to talk about it, laugh about it after 30 years of playing softball in the state of Missouri, St. Louis, man, I wouldn't change it for the world. To me, it's always going to be softball capital of St. Louis. To me, always, even though it's almost dead and gone now, but it's still, it's what we represent. And and Leroy, and Wilson boys, you know what I'm saying? You my dirty, you my little brother, and having a class act apartments, all the class act players living in the same apartments down there.
Yes, sir.
Was cool as hell, man. And nothing but respect, nothing but love for you and all of y'all, man. Thanks for always sticking up for me, standing up for me. I know I've been hated on since day one. They say if you're not being hated on, you're not doing nothing. You must be not doing something right.
Yeah.
I don't piggyback off nobody else's success. I try to stay in my own lane, my own thinking theory about how I think the game should be played, and I don't hold no grudge to nobody, even the ones that left me for dead. Uh, Felt like I did something wrong, or like I did, like I'm guilty of anything, even though I'm not. They still got ill will towards me for what reasons I don't know. Especially at our age, I don't care no more, man.
Right.
I just know that I have to answer to one person as God, and my truth don't need no support because it's the truth. It's facts.
Yeah.
But I want to say I love all y'all, man, for different purposes, not different reasons, but different purposes. And there is no me without y'all because y'all pushed me to be better. We in 95-degree weather, 100 degrees out there, 2 bucks of trash cans of softballs, taking BP. Trying to work on them cones, trying to, work hitting behind the runner. Having a great IQ in that batter's box. I just want to make sure that I leave something behind. These rings, these 60 rings don't mean nothing to me compared to this documentary because this documentary is my legacy. It's gonna live on forever. And while I'm gone, this is what this is all about. 'Cause I want people to know that I wasn't just, a pretty good ball player. I was a good person. I feel like I was a better person with a big heart and people that really know me.
Yeah.
And I appreciate y'all, man, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
All
Good
right.
seeing you, brothers, man.
You too, man. Take care.
Good seeing you guys.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all, man. So this is gonna conclude this episode of the Wolf of Ball Street podcast. Stay tuned, y'all watching, because we just getting started. All right.
Yes,
Hey man,
sir.
y'all stay warm today, stay in the crib,
Definitely in the
sip
crib.
on what you're sipping on,
Absolutely.
and
Yes, sir.
have a
Appreciate
good
it.
evening.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, man.
Love y'all,
All
man.
right,
All right.
y'all.
Peace
All right.
out.
Take it easy, guys.
Brother Earl, what's that?
Everything's
How you
beautiful,
doing?
man. How you brothers doing? Had a chance to meet Curtis back in the 90s. Well, I'm sorry. I met Wolf back in the 90s. And just a guy that had four things in his life that he had to work, that he needed. And he found it through softball.
Yeah.
He found the love of it. He found the passion of it. He found how to move forward with it, the work that he needed to achieve to where he is today, and the world championships that he captured, the hearts of other players who have competed with him, against him. He was part of the measuring stick that a lot of people measured their game to, for, and after.
That's what's up. Do me a favor, Earl. Tell the audience, man, how'd you meet? How'd you meet Wolf? And then how'd you meet Curtis?
Okay, I met Wolf at Forest Wood Park, playing my earlier days playing softball. You see him in the park.
You was a strike force,
I
right?
was with Strike Force at the time before moving on to other different teams.
Right.
And competing against him, you saw this fire in his eyes to be good. And then he developed into now I got to be great.
Yeah.
And then he kept pushing to I have to be the best. And see, you lose, you can lose friends, you can lose loved ones, you can lose all that in your journey to be the greatest at what you want, at what you're doing. Everybody can't follow, everybody can't be a part of it, everybody can't ride with you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Now, today, as I said earlier, people had a chance to meet Wolf the ball player. Now you're getting an opportunity to meet Curtis the man. Curtis the man is a beautiful person. He's a beautiful brother, and he loves the people that he puts his time into.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. But back to meeting him back on the field back in the days, that's what you heard, man. This guy Wolf, man, he could crush that thing. I'm like, man, let me see who this Wolf is, man. Then when you see him, you're like, okay, all right, let's get it. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Because as a competitor, you want to compete against the best.
So did you play with him as well, or you?
I've always played against him. I worked out with him. I've worked out with him on numerous occasions.
Okay.
And for him and those of us who wanted to be better, the workout was a game itself. It wasn't just about going out, just taking a few hacks and then it's over. No, you put in the work.
Yeah.
In order to get better.
Yeah. I had asked this question earlier. I'm gonna ask you, what is the culture of softball in St. Louis mean to you? And then what did Wolf mean to the culture of softball in St. Louis?
The culture of softball meant brotherhood. You have a chance to leave all your issues outside of those two lines. Once you get inside those lines, nothing else matters but those brothers that you're competing with and against.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Sports in general is about teaching passion, perfection, and purpose. If they line up like that, you gonna be successful. Any one of those out of whack, you gonna have problems.
Yeah.
Unless you can find the people who has the same mentality and that is yoked the same way that you are.
Yeah.
And that's what Wolf was. Wolf was a person that believed in perfection. His perfection led to his passion. His passion led to his purpose on that diamond.
Yeah. Yeah. And what in your opinion, what did Wolf mean to the culture of softball?
He was the one that brought a different culture to us. A lot of us never played on the circuits that he played on, or had an opportunity to get on the circuit that he was on. Finally,
Yeah.
once he opened up that door for a lot of us, a lot of us start branching off, getting into that different circuit. He was our Jackie Robinson of softball.
All right. Yeah.
So he
That's
opened the door.
that's
He opened the door
yeah.
for a lot of us to get on that different
Yeah.
circuit.
Yeah.
So, you got to give him his flowers now.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So give me your takeaway, man, from your relationship with Wolf. Like what is that meant to you?
I mean, even competing, or even, if he's just in this, let's just say he's in the ballpark. As a competitor, you want the approval of your peers on you giving the effort, giving a great effort. He sees little things you don't see in your own game, and he will come to you and say, "Hey, man, you need to work on this, or can we work together to improve you on this particular thing?"
Yeah.
I started off as a outfielder for the Superbirds back in the 80s. Then I transitioned over to when I met Wolf, I was playing with Strike Force at that time, which I come out of the outfield into the infield. That's where I met him as an infielder. Competing against him, which was a heck of a ball player, that he morphed himself into a hell of a ball player.
Yeah.
Then became one of the greatest ball players around here in this Midwest area. I'm not saying St. Louis. I said Midwest, because we've competed all over the Midwest.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then once I began to get older, slow down a little bit, went to the pitcher's mound, and at that time, he was in that arena as a pitcher. Taught me some things that another one, a friend of ours, called it the hucklebuck. It's the knuckleball that he throws. And it's the huckle. They call it the hucklebuck. But at 57, I can throw with my eyes closed right now.
Yeah. 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 Wolf, what was it like, man, for you to what motivated you to share your knowledge with, teammate or, opponent? It didn't matter. What motivated you to do that?
Somebody shared it with me. It was like some guys at my level, or even that's better than me, they act like it's a forgotten secret or something. Nah, man, you share it, because once you see that person you shared it with that got better with it, that signs of approval for me. So I'm pretty sure that who I would show that to, he gonna show it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And somebody had to show me how to hit the ball correctly. Somebody had to show me how to get in the batting stance correctly. Somebody had to make sure that I worked through the game, because he said, man, you win softball games or tournaments Monday through Thursday, and you become a master on a weekend. What I didn't know what that meant. What it really meant was mental through the week, muscle memory through the week, and you picture Mona Lisa on the weekend. You picture it. You paint your little picture and do what you do.
Yeah.
And like I told earlier, like I told the other guys, I said, if you're going into a tournament, what you think you might bat this weekend? If you tell me I'm gonna bat 700, 800, I'm like, why are you giving yourself outs? Why? Go into every game thinking that you're gonna bat 1,000. Don't go in there with a defeated state of mind. Say, oh well, I got an excuse to make an out because I say what I'm gonna bat. Nah, man, let's get up on yourself as well as your teammates. Don't shorten yourself. Even though it's hard to bat 1,000, but don't think like that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what he kept, would always push. You can bat 1,000 if you want to bet 1,000. If you have in your head that you're gonna bet 1,000, you're gonna do it. Not only that I've always heard a great teacher was once what?
Great student.
Great student.
A great listener. That's all you got to do. Is be willing to accept things that you don't see. Things you might not know.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I always talk about is, I have a question I think I've asked Wolf this already. And I'm going to ask you, Brother D. What does McDonald's sell you?
Consistency.
There you go. That's what it does.
Yeah.
Consistency. They sell you the same thing over and over and over and over again, but they sell it to you the same.
That's right. Starbucks, all of that. Yeah, they're selling you the same thing over and over and over
and over and over again. But
yeah.
it's the consistency that they sell you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a great point. And I think that's the theme. I think we need to leave it right there. That's the thing, because what I've heard today from several people is that, well, you've been consistent.
Consistent, yeah.
With how you approach pretty much everything, right? And been the same person day one till this one. And I think that comes across more than one occasion, just today.
Right.
In this podcast. And then I see it, every day as we walk down this journey. So Brother Earl, man, I appreciate you hopping on, man, and giving us this time, man.
It was a pleasure doing it for my brother.
I appreciate you,
as
bro.
I always tell my brother, I'm as long as I'm here, I'm gonna be here for you.
Likewise.
Yeah.
And once again, people out there, you had a chance to meet Wolf. Now you get the absolute amazing chance to meet Brother Curtis. Two different people.
We're gonna make sure we shine the right light, the bright light on everything, so people get the full picture.
Hey.
So people get the full picture.
But he was a monster out on that field, though.
Yeah.
He's a monster out there. And one thing a monster don't need you to tell him is what?
How to eat. How to be a monster.
No. A monster don't need you to tell him that he a monster.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But brother, man, thank you for your time, man.
Appreciate you.
Like I said to the other people, I probably will want to reach out to you as we start to develop more into the podcast, into the documentary, and then moving into the movie. Because you guys have pieces of the story that we gonna need to insert in to make the whole picture, give the whole picture. So we'll definitely be talking again, my brother.
All right now.
All right.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right,
thank
now.
you,
man. Stay warm, stay dry.
Will do. You brothers have a beautiful evening, man.
You too.
All right. Take care, bro. We'll talk.
All right, brother.
All right, later.
All right.
All right, Wolf, you get the last word on this one, brother.
Man, it's I learned some stuff from my peers, my friends, my family. Some things that I feel like I need to get off my chest because it's been embedded in me for a long time that I want people to realize and understand something about me. Yeah, I like the word consistency because that's what I love to do when it comes to life.
Yeah.
I want to be consistent in whatever I'm doing, but make
Yeah.
sure it's productive and make sure it's positive. When it comes to softball, to my St. Louis family, my St. Louis community, and the powers that be here in St. Louis, it's a lot of politics, a lot of politics, and it's politics in anything that we do. But I'm not trying to get upset. I'm not trying to get mad. I'm not trying to get off track on things. But it's about reality. It's about facts.
Yeah.
As I'm hearing from my peers how they speak about my success or my approach, I just realize and understand that politics is involved when it comes to Hall of Fame scenarios. So just to let the world know what's going on, I'm supposed to be a four-time Hall of Famer, but my St. Louis Hall of Fame induction, I get it from in 2024 when everything went down. It was on hold just to make sure everything was cleared up with the situation. Everything got cleared up. So I was asked I was going to be in the 2025 Hall of Fame induction. Come to find out, they pushed that back because they feel like the guy that put me in the Hall of Fame, he personally put me in the Hall of Fame. He's part of the committee. He felt like I owe him an apology because I told him I wasn't coming. The reason why I wasn't coming because my mother was sick, and I couldn't afford to bring my family to something that was good to me. I wanted my mother to be there, but I couldn't go. I couldn't bring her. A few months later, she passes away. This same individual thought I owe him an apology for not coming to the Hall of Fame. So I talked to the head guy of the Hall of Fame committee. He said, "Wolf, we got your Hall of Fame plate ready for you now. It's got your name on it. All you have to do is just apologize." I know I'm a Hall of Famer. I don't need somebody to verify my success and everything I accomplished into somebody's personal vendetta of not letting me be in my Hall of Fame class. That's the way I look at it. I will not apologize for something that I truly believe in because my mother's my everything. So people that want to know what's really going on, that's what's going on behind closed doors. My 50-degree family. All I say to Coop, who I've known since I was 7 years old, I got love for you, brother. I got love for you. And everybody that's on that team, I wish you all the best. I don't hate nobody. I got no ill will feel towards nobody on that team. And I hope that you guys be as successful as you were in the past as towards your future. When somebody say, I don't want to sit for somebody, or I don't, they feel like they should start every game. I'm gonna tell y'all something that y'all never knew. And this is my first time speaking public about my experience about something that's gonna blow y'all mind. When I was playing with Laser Vision, the #1 team in the world, it's all white boys, and I'm the only brother. I was the #8 hitter in the country that year. We get to the World Championship to win my biggest ring of all rings, and all the things I've accomplished that season. Did you know I didn't even get the swing? I didn't even get a plate appearance. I had to be a good teammate. I had to ride the bench the whole tournament. Was I screaming inside? Of course I was screaming inside because I got this far to bat 765 for the year, to be the #8 hitter in the country, not to even get to play. That took true character for me to not blow up because I know I'm representing for all my brothers or people that look like me. They wanted me to act a fool. But when I heard somebody say, well, I can't sit for somebody, brother, If I could sit and don't complain about it and still try to keep my sanity of not blowing up, then anybody can sit. It takes for me to get over that. It took a long time because I don't know if racism played the fact to it, or I don't know what type of politics played the fact to it. All I know is I sat for the biggest stage of my life. Now, to play in front of the biggest crowd of my life when I played with Nelly back in 2005 in front of 3,000 people, I wouldn't change that for the world because the world got to see who I really was. I used to tell people, yeah, y'all come to see Nelly, but y'all gonna love me, you know? And I learned a lot from that situation because when I went to go get my own team in 2006 to leave Nelly's team, and it had nothing to do with Nelly, I wanted my own team. I wanted my own success because I've always had it before. But when I left Nelly's team, a brother named Albert Scott Tito, he was jealous of me. He was mad at me, but he was mad and jealous at the wrong person because Nelly wanted me to pitch in the championship. So that's Nelly's call. That was never my call. But to get to where I'm getting at right now, when I left 2006 to get my own team, this brother Tito went out his way and put sex offender on everybody's car window with my face on it.
Wow.
That's the type of hating I had going on here in St. Louis.
Wow.
I got love for my city, but my city don't got love for me. So to go through the trials and tribulations because of that, what? You get an opportunity to be the big star on the team. I'm gone. Why would you do that to me? But like I said, there's something more internal to that. And this last thing, when it comes to Hall of Fame, it's the body of work what a person does for his career. Not 1 or 2 or 3 years to be in the Hall of Fame, or not just because you had a great term, you should be in the Hall of Fame. It's your full body of work when it comes to the Hall of Fame. Do I feel like the Hall of Fame has been tainted? Of course. It's been tainted. Not just the black circuit, but also St. Louis softball. How can a guy be in the Hall of Fame and you're known for 5 things? You're known for smoking weed. You're known for always want to fight somebody. You're known just to be a great base runner. And you're known to always drop and pop flies. And there's one more thing, I can't remember what it was, but it's a negative atmosphere thing to it because how are you in the Hall of Fame and if your whole team is there, you won't even be starting. So that's the politics when it comes to the Hall of Fame situations or softball. But when it comes to me, I walk alone, I stand alone. I'm successful what I've did or what I've done, and I'm not bragging about it. I have no reason to brag about it. When I've done it, I've done it. And I took people with me to help me get it. I love St. Louis. I love my triangle. But I know St. Louis don't got love for me. Why? I don't know, man. But I guess I'll get into Hall of Fame when I'm dead and gone, just like Mona's getting in the Hall of Fame. She's dead now. Now she's in the Hall of Fame. What happened to when she was alive? Doesn't make sense to me. I hate politics. But when you see the facts, you don't need no support because it's the truth. Appreciate you for listening to Wolf of Ball Street episode 7. We might do one more episode because we got other things going on. But these episodes made me grow. Just going over, just looking at them. I had no ill will to nobody. Even with San Diego Police Department, what y'all did to me, I have no ill will because I know God got me, and I know He's going to make sure that I'm okay in the near future. Read between the lines. None but love. Thank you all.
My brother. Hey, and on that, nothing else needs to be said. So, episode 7 in the books coming to y'all in a couple of days. My brother, man, you stay warm.
Oh yeah.
Let them streets be the streets today.
It's snowing. I'm not going outside.
Man, it's snowing, it's right, ice raining, the whole nine.
Yes, sir.
But another one in the books, brother. So
Yes, sir.
we gonna get back up shortly.
Keep it pushing.
All right, brother. Yes, sir.
I got a lot of work up on my plate, and I'ma get it all till the clock stops ticking. Forget the pain of yesterday, and show a star in the way you are. Wake up and go get it, live life with no limits. Every time they put me in a box, I bust it down. Too much time upon the clock, so I'ma bust it down. Ain't no waiting for the moment, cause the time is now. I'm with my brothers like Malcolm and Newton, and we split the racks in the middle. Big bro, you been ballin', so we was just college, you know it ain't no ceilings. These girls in the library, they looking for love, you know it ain't no feelings. Searching for warmth in my heart, but lately it feel like the middle of winter. Every time I get back up, they wanna let me down. My granny asked me why I put that smoke up in the clouds. They always saying, woke, but they be sleeping, know what's round. Just maintain focus, keep my knees upon the ground. I put my soul and my heart in this. The clouds that left us in darkness, yeah. But I knew what it was when I started it, yeah. So now they ain't no turning back. You know I ain't got time to lack. I gotta get to these racks. And I